passing Boca to Jupiter, we got your attention. You can tune in anywhere, but listen at your discretion. To the legend, Mr. Hotman can stop from each of the deuce. My brother got his own hot burger at Tucker Deuce. Now my rush more of these sports, spitting the truth. It's Channing Crowder, greatest Dolphins, who rock the 52. Solana one, best of Miami, the voice of FIU. We reppin' to Miami, the Heat and the Panthers too. We reppin' for the Marlins, the Dolphins, that's how we do. We reppin' for the Crips, so it's always about
Yes, I'm
you.
clearing my
Hey,
throat,
Jimmy,
YouTube
please
streamer.
let him on the phone and
Ah.
tell him his own. I finally got his name on the song. Can't do it wrong, cause it sounds so sweet. You spit the facts while I keep the crowd on their feet. Football season be the reason that I be bringing this heat. Georgia music representing 104.3. Hey, welcome to the show.
Greeted by an unbelievably funny message on the chat room for the YouTube stream. Sleepy Pat, yeah, thanks for Giannis, but what have you done for us lately? I will punch any Heat fan in the face who takes that approach today. Who takes that approach in their life. I will punch you personally in the face. So I'm here. I was obviously supposed to be on vacation today. If you'd been listening to the show, I kept saying I'm off Friday and Monday. Unless LeBron makes a decision, then I'll work. And I had a feeling I'd be working Monday. That was really my thought, because I thought he was going to announce something Sunday night, and it happened today in the afternoon. So here I am. Crowder off today as well. He's not coming in. He's also off the grid. I don't know. Would you guess, Solana? Yes or no? Crowder knows LeBron is headed to the Sixers at this point at 2:02 in the afternoon. When did he make his decision? Around 11:30 or so?
Yeah, 11:30-ish.
Do you think Crowder
Why is Solana
knows?
so sad today, by the way?
Do you think Crowder knows he's going to the Sixers?
Sad? I'm not sad. And no, I had a conversation with Crowder earlier. There is 0% chance he has looked at his phone in the last 4 or 5 hours. There's no chance.
He just when he's not doing show stuff, his phone is face down somewhere in a backpack. Zach Gelb is here filling in. He was going to be filling in for me and Crowder, but he is here now filling in for Crowder, so he will join us for the entirety of the program. We thought we'd bring in a sad Knicks fan as well.
Do you think we could send Crowder a Photoshop of LeBron in a Raptors jersey to try to continue to egg him on with the Drake stuff?
Yes.
And make him think that LeBron picked the Raptors over the Heat.
I believe we could talk Crowder. I think Jimmy, who's here as well, who knows all the news, I think I could talk Jimmy into the fact that LeBron is a Raptor by 3 o'clock today.
He is?
Running to the 6.
In fact, Hawk, on Monday, Crowder shows up at 2. If all of us showed up and just talked about it, like if LeBron announced he was joining the Portland Trailblazers and did a whole first segment, I mean, he's going to team up with John Morant and like
Kelby,
really
that's crazy, man.
He would do a segment with LeBron going.
Remember when Fox NFL Sunday pranked Rob Gronkowski with a fake tight end that he had never heard of? You just kind of have to play along in those situations and pretend like you're in on the news. All right, so we're going to talk about it today, obviously, because this affects the Heat, the East. It affects the entire NBA. But I wonder, do Heat fans, and I don't know what's going on Cleveland radio, and I would imagine Cleveland really feels like they got the rug pulled out from under them a second time by LeBron. And I'll read you LeBron's tweet as we move forward here. Do Heat fans, do you think, Solana, feel like the rug got pulled out from under them?
The rug got pulled out from under us. No, the Heat won the offseason. I mean, look, the 41-year-old coming to your team, how good could that really be? It would have been a cute little move, I guess. But no, I don't think any Heat fan is really upset by this. Honestly, this is probably
upset.
Better.
Feeling like he let us on. Feeling like
absolutely
he let us run away with our thoughts. Because you know what you could do? You could take a step back. I mean, I could see LeBron doing an interview 6 months from now going, why did anyone think I was going back to Miami? When have I ever shown any interest in going back and playing for Miami? I've told you I did my 4 years. It was college. I learned how to be a man and a winner and a champion, and I've moved on with my career. You think, LB, that Heat fans feel like they were let on?
This came down to he went to a place where he thought was best to go win a championship. And you can make a case. Miami's in a better situation than Philly or vice versa. You could even make the case for Cleveland. That was the final three, in my estimation. He went to Philadelphia. And I will say this. Yes, you can make the case. Sixers got a better chance than the Miami Heat if you want to. I think this bull crap that we were fed the last 2-3 weeks, and you hit Pat Riley, the keys under the mat, all that stuff, they're great. Pat was making the cookies. He was ready to go. The cookies got burnt. LeBron, at the end of the day, I think this is petty by him, and I think this is him once again saying, Pat, I'll reel you back in. Remember, we didn't have a good relationship at the end, and I'm going to leave you at the altar, and I'll take my cookies and run to Philadelphia and mix them in with a cheesesteak.
And he can't take that side hawk of why did anybody think I was going to Miami when in his own Twitter post or X post where he talks about this decision, at the end, he thanks LA. He says Northeast Ohio will always home. I think he meant always be home. Way to go. And Miami.
He also misspelled decision.
He did.
He did. If you look at the way he spelled decision, he spelled the decision incorrectly.
Yeah. And Miami, I'll forever love. So to me, he was kind of paying homage to the teams he's played for, sure, but also referencing two other teams that we all knew were in the mix here. That's Miami, that's Cleveland, and ultimately he decided Philadelphia.
And I think Miami fans should be pissed off today. And I know Solana, right, he's going to play it up like he doesn't really care. If the Heat got LeBron James, you frauds, I'm the greatest thing of all time. I told you this was going to happen. All you doubted me. Like, I know what we would have been getting from Solana today. And you got to speak to the Heat fan and you got to, compartmentalize this and deal with your emotions. But I do think that he misled Miami Heat fans. There is no doubt about it. And there was a greater need for LeBron in Miami than LeBron in Philadelphia. But also, I think this decision in Philadelphia, the two other parts, Tyrese Maxey is a Clutch client. And then also Mike Ganzi, who runs the show there in Philadelphia, was the runner-up to Mr. Basketball in Ohio. Who was the guy that won the award that year? LeBron James. So they have a connection going back to when they were kids.
Yeah, I find the whole thing very interesting, and reading LeBron's statement, he wants to compete for a championship. We didn't know that was the most important parameter. We guessed for the last few weeks, what are the most important parameters? Is it happiness? We were told it's all about happiness. It's not about championships, but ultimately it came down to him saying, not only did I not even know if I was going to play again after the Lakers, but I decided I wanted to compete at the highest level and I wanted to compete for a championship. And if those were the parameters, Philadelphia does make a lot of sense. I get that. I would ask you, though, if he wins a ring in a fourth location, does that bolster his legacy versus MJ? Versus, do you consider this ring chasing and unbecoming of a superstar of this status late in his career? Wonder which side you fall closer to. It doesn't have to be an either or, but I'm wondering which side you fall closer to.
He is ring chasing. He's said he's ring chasing. He's going to try to win a championship. And there's nothing wrong with that, because at this stage of his career, he should be trying to win a championship. I just don't know if there's anything LeBron could do that will get him to surpass Michael Jordan. Because if he wins a championship, well, okay, it's 5, not 6. Even if he gets a 6, I know what people are going to say, like you being a huge MJ fan. Well, Michael Jordan was a perfect 6-0. LeBron lost all these NBA finals. So the only way I guess you could ever get to the argument where people could then say LeBron's better than Jordan is if he gets to 7. And this late of his career, he's not playing another 3 more years. And then he would have to win 3 more in a row.
I was just about to say, that actually might be the only thing that could move me off the MJ is the all-time GOAT, which is if LeBron does this another 5 seasons at a high level and actually eclipses MJ's title number.
So he has to do it until he's 46 for you to realize that the longevity is just 10 times better than what Michael Jordan did. Like, I don't know what you're doing there. I understand the rings debate.
Well, the longevity is better, but that's not what I'm using to determine who's the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But to me, like, you can say, oh, MJ has 6 rings, LeBron has 4 or 5 if he gets to 5, and I'll always give the nod to MJ because of that. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But to suggest that if he got to 7, doing it another 5 years.
Yeah, I weigh leading a team to a championship more than just number of seasons played, but I don't think that's unfair in the parameters of how I'm choosing the GOAT. Like, you're going to give more credence to just how many years you played?
Yeah, if you're playing them at the highest level possible and you're 41 years old, you're doing something that nobody's ever done.
Absolutely. It counts.
But compared to the player you're referencing who we saw at 38, 39, and 40 years old in Washington and was a shell of what LeBron James has accomplished. But
that to you is the determining factor for who's the greatest of all time. And for me, and it's close, again, because we're splitting hairs here, but for me, I would do what Gelb just said I was going to revert to, which is 6 titles in 6 attempts. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I prefer the guy, and I'm losing my own narrative here because I was coming in hot with MJ's the GOAT today. But I'm losing my own narrative because, to me, simply getting to 6 finals is not as impressive as getting to 10 or 12 NBA finals. That, to me, is more impressive outside of the amount of rings you win, and LeBron James has done that.
Yeah, Ben Volen, who I know is a friend of this show, once wrote an idiotic article.
Impossible.
And it was when Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl to the Eagles. He was like, oh, Brady would just be better off losing earlier rather than losing in the Super Bowl. And I remember saying I'd much still rather get to the Super Bowl than lose, because at least you have a chance to win it than lose in, let's say, the divisional round or the conference championship round. And he thought that was going to ding his status up against Montana. Now, eventually, Brady did go on to win 7, and Montana only has 4, so it didn't really matter. But I would still rather get there and lose than not get there at all. But I think the bigger conversation here is not the LeBron MJ thing, because I think in most people's minds, at this rate, if you're Team MJ, there's nothing LeBron could do. If you're Team LeBron, there's really nothing.
Well, I think it's age-related as well. Older guys like 100%. Me are always going to side with MJ. Younger guys like Solana are always going to side with LeBron because it's who you watched.
And personally, I think it's MJ, but like they're splitting hairs. It's extremely close. It's not crazy to say it's MJ. It's not crazy to say it's LeBron. But I'm curious with you guys, what does this do for the legacy of LeBron in just Miami? Like his Miami Heat fandom legacy, with Heat fans, because yes, he was here for 4 years, won 2 championships, went back to Cleveland. Okay, you got it. He's going home. But the fact that he kind of played with you guys, and there was so much momentum being pushed this week where it's going to be Miami, it's going to be Miami, whatever happened with the press conference and the scheduling of the YouTube, but there was a great belief that it was going to be Miami. For him to pull the rug out here in the 11th hour and not go to Cleveland, like if he went to Cleveland, I think a lot of people understand it, but for him to go to Philadelphia and say Philadelphia is a better destination to win a championship than Miami, I do wonder how Heat fans look at LeBron moving forward with his legacy here in Miami.
LeBron was already who he was in Miami, and I don't think this changes who it is. Those of us who appreciate the 4 seasons that he was here are in that camp. Those of us who turned their backs on him the moment that he left back for Cleveland, that's that camp. I don't think this move necessarily does that. I think we all would have loved to have seen and relived another season, but the 4 seasons that we got the best 4 years of LeBron that was out there. Like, we got the most compelling, the most energetic, and the most talented LeBron. We got the best team. Like, that could never be ruined for me.
Even with him basically preventing you guys from winning a championship this year, because there's a need for LeBron, and just going out there and pivoting to DeMar DeRozan, I don't think is going to do that. But there was a great need for LeBron in Miami. And right now, the Knicks are better. Right now, the Sixers are better. I would say the Heat, in my estimation, are the 3rd best team in the Eastern Conference, so they're still in contention. But other people could argue that maybe like the Heat without LeBron are like 4th and 5th in the conference.
I've seen Giannis run through a finals single-handedly. You get Giannis to the postseason. Like, what I'm not allowing LeBron going to Philly to do is to change the way that I feel about what happened with the Miami Heat this offseason. Because in my opinion, the Miami Heat this offseason got the most talented available free agent.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you could make the argument for Jaylen Brown, but I think Giannis is better.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not even close. Giannis is better than Jaylen Brown. Now, Jaylen Brown's playing on the better team, but
Correct.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, Pat did his job this offseason. Pat needed to go get the big star. He got the big star.
That's my point.
It's unfortunate he didn't get LeBron. It is unfortunate, and it dings him for this season, but this is still a successful offseason for the Miami Heat.
I mean, beyond successful, beyond your wildest imagination. So for me, again, get to the postseason, and you've got a healthy Bam, and you've got a healthy Giannis. You're going to have shooter. This is the part that I'm getting caught up on, because I saw a tweet from Kevin O'Connor from Yahoo. He says, LeBron made the right choice of the East options. The Cavaliers stink, and the Heat are a clunky fit with no shooting. The Sixers have top-end talent with Jaylen Brown joining Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, plus upside young players like VJ Edgecombe and LeBaron. What's his name?
LeBaron
Philon.
LeBaron? Like a Buick LeBaron?
From Alabama.
They picked them in the draft.
Embiid's health is obviously a concern, but they don't need prime Embiid to contend, and the roster is certainly far better than what Cleveland and Miami could offer. And I don't understand that take, because I don't think it's far better than Miami, and I don't think Miami has no shooters. I think that is the most overblown narrative of this entire 2 or 3 week period, where people were opining where he should end up, because the notion that they have no shooters, I mean, Solana was talking about it yesterday. Andrew Wiggins, I mean, I don't want to bring up Pella Larson, but I will. Davion Mitchell, like
the immortal Pella Larson.
But they do have statistically good shooters.
They do. And it honestly isn't as bad of a fit as people are suggesting. The big question, which Gelb, you brought up, is how is Spo going to make Bam and Giannis coexist and actually flourish in year one? And I think those are fair concerns. But the idea that this Heat team wouldn't have been a great option for LeBron James is just absurd. And the fact that people continue to harp on, well, they have no spacing, they have no shooting, is just ridiculous. Do they have the best shooters in the NBA? No, but they have quality, statistically quality three-point shooters who, by the way, are only going to be more open and likely have better shooting percentages playing alongside the greatest rim threat in the NBA in Giannis Antetokounmpo. But Hawk, we have to also note that Kevin O'Connor from Yahoo Sports is a notorious Heat troll. Notorious.
Totally understand.
I like
Heat
his
hater.
work. I like his work, but he's a Heat hater. Bill Simmons.
But I don't think he's saying
hater.
anything that's not being said by others. It's the reason that I pointed out his tweet. It's not like that one outlier of someone who says,
a lot of people
I
are
don't
saying
think
this.
Giannis is a top 20 player in the NBA. And you go, okay, well, I'm not going to waste my time with that. Kevin O'Connor is parroting a lot of people talking about the Heat's lack of shooting. And by the way, they do need, like, if they added DeMar DeRozan or Klay Thompson or Bradley Beal, I'd be happy.
The Heat are the biggest losers, though, in the LeBron sweepstakes because they needed him the most. It doesn't mean that they can't have a successful season. It doesn't mean that they could contend. But the need for LeBron out of all these teams, Cleveland, Philadelphia, wherever you go, I thought the Heat needed LeBron the most. That's why I ultimately thought that he was going to go there. So, yes, they still had a successful offseason because they got Giannis, but it doesn't mean that you can't look and criticize them for not getting LeBron because I think they're the team that gets dinged by this the most.
And it was a foregone conclusion that he was coming here for the last week. That's another part that adds to that.
The press conference was scheduled. I'm sure Len Weiner had imaging ready to go. Like, there was a lot of stuff here for you guys to get your king back.
I don't think Miami's the biggest loser. And the team that needed him the most to have a successful season, or at the very least, try to have a successful season, was Golden State, who very clearly I don't ever think was in the mix once AD wasn't going there. But Gelb, there's no way Miami needed LeBron more than Golden State needed LeBron. And to me, Cleveland is the big loser because Cleveland, at the very least, can hang their hat always on. He'll always end up coming back home. He'll always end up retiring in Northeast Ohio. That team with LeBron James,
he will retire in Northeast Ohio.
Better.
Just won't be playing
like
basketball. I mean, he's just literally going to retire there. He's going to go enjoy avocado toast and cappuccino.
But out of the realistic options, if he was going for a championship, it made no sense to go to the West. So, after that 2 days of Golden State, that ship kind of sailed in my mind. I thought it was going to be the East. Like, the Cavs, if they get LeBron, I don't think they're winning a championship. If the Heat got LeBron, I thought they could have won a championship where if you look at the East right now, everyone's chasing the Knicks, and then it's like, who's that 2 team after all the moves this offseason? The Sixers are now the number 2 team, and everybody else is playing for third. And can you get to the 3 spot and end up playing the 2 in the second round? You end up beating them, sure. And the Heat are going to be in contention to get out of the East this year, but you don't start them in the conversation now without LeBron 1 or 2. You start them in at the number 3 spot.
Let's do a real quick look at the headlines. There are no other headlines as far as I'm concerned. I'm not even supposed to be working today because there were no headlines, but I want to have time with Brendan Tobin in the next segment. He did 4 hours before us. He found out live on the air as he was hosting middays. But for me, he's a great representation of Heat Nation. He's got a great following from Heat Nation. He's really in tune. I know it drives Solana crazy, but he really is in tune with Heat Nation and how
Can't think of anybody else.
Headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai. In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito. When we want a low price, we save with a Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai.
Yeah, not the guy who hasn't missed a game in probably 22 years.
Dan Day does a great job running the board, right?
Yeah, and works every single game and is inside the building and is at every practice. Yeah, not that guy. No
I love
shot.
Jason Jackson.
I love Tobin, by the way. Absolutely love Tobin.
You want to take off the next segment?
Yeah. But mostly because the shirt Tobin's wearing today is just absurd. I don't know
what's he wearing.
It's very flashy. I saw it online.
Yeah, just like they do this thing like Hawaiian Shirt Friday or something. Hey, Tobes, Tua's gone. Let it go, brother.
Although you and Jimmy and Dan Day, you guys have been doing, was it Jersey Tuesdays for like 5 years?
Jersey Tuesdays since 2018. Valero and I started it.
Maybe time to give that one a rest as well.
Oh, man.
All right.
The Marlins. Yeah, I'm good. The Marlins, they play tonight. They're back at home. This is nothing the Marlins can't fix.
A lot of teams go on a 9-game skid. They dig themselves out of it.
Maybe LeBron will try to channel his inner Michael Jordan, give up basketball, and maybe go to the Marlins and help them out in the second half of the season.
That's tonight, 7:10 p.m. against the San Diego Padres. And shout out to Luis Suarez, scored a brace the other day on Wednesday for Inter Miami. He was named the MLS Player of the Match Day. Not the week, but match day. Inter Miami is going to play tomorrow in Montreal. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 90 degrees. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the low 70s. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Beat the storm. Schedule your free roof and window estimate today. Call 954-968-8155.
We will talk a little LeBron with Tobin in the next segment. On Hard Rock Bet, everyone's invited to the party. Your name is on the list. You can sign up with Hard Rock Bet today. Bet $5 on anything. If it wins, you also score $150 in bonus bets. So you got a winning bet plus an extra $150 to bet with. That's how you get the party started on Hard Rock Bet. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. If you're still riding the soccer high from the big old tournament, Solana just mentioned it, Miami heads north to Montreal on Saturday, and you can turn your match day predictions into a payday on Hard Rock Bet. And if you're late for kickoff, you can live bet the match all long from opening whistle to stoppage time. So it's never too late to get in on the action. You know, Hard Rock Bet gives you new promos every single day. No sweat bets, profit boost, bonus bets, and more. So if you do have the app, open it right now. See what you've got waiting for you today. Some sports fans call this a slow period until football season. On Hard Rock Bet, it's called baseball season. There's games to bet every day. The action is always on the Hard Rock Bet app. The WNBA's brightest stars take center stage in Chicago this weekend. And even though the All-Star game isn't technically the real thing, you can still bet it like it is on the Hard Rock Bet app. The world's most prestigious cycling race reaches its epic conclusion Sunday. We know Solana's dad is watching. You can back your favorite cyclist. You can predict the stage winner. You chase your own yellow jersey moment on Hard Rock Bet. And finally, the roar of the engines, the bricks, the checkered flag, one of racing's most iconic weekends is here. Hard Rock Bet is the fastest way to get in on all the action at the Indianapolis Brickyard. It all starts with you downloading the Hard Rock Bet app right now. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Ground beef.
All right, our friend Brendan Tobin, who hosts middays here on WQAM, is on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline, and he is a good representative of Heat Nation, even in that shirt.
What the hell's wrong with my shirt?
Nothing. I like it.
A lot of bad blood between the two of you, I hear these days. A lot of fighting.
I wanted to come out of the box and ask you, do you think Goran Dragic cost the Heat LeBron James? Because Goran's meddling in everything, and do you think he may have meddled in this?
No, I probably didn't meddle enough. He'd probably get one call from Goran Dragic. We would already be
Allow me to follow
James.
up. Do you think Kendrick Nunn is the new Goran Dragic, suggesting that he's got 3 to 5 people a day asking him about returning to the Heat? Who on earth? 3 to 5 people a day are bumping into Kendrick Nunn, asking him to return to the Heat?
Do you think it's the same 3 to 5 people? We were asking today, like, does he go to Publix and it's the same guy cutting his meat is the guy who's just like, hey,
the
K9,
doorman at the building
back?
sees him every morning. Hey, we'd love to see you back with the Heat. He counts that as another one for the day.
I did learn today he has very high Euro League credentials, Kendrick Nunn, since leaving the NBA.
He balled. He balled over there.
Explain to us the psyche today of Heat Nation. By your estimation, do you feel like LeBron pulled the rug out from under us because he led us to believe one thing? Is this a big, who cares? Because we got Giannis, who was the real target in the offseason. I'm just wondering if you can encapsulate your feelings, Heat Nation's feelings.
I think I don't feel like the rug was pulled out for the. I am surprised. I didn't think it was going to be Philly. I was like, if he's going to go somewhere, my big hunch the whole time was I thought he was going to go to Cleveland. It was the press conference with Giannis on Thursday and all the market changing and the narrative. I was like, man, maybe there's something really to this Miami thing. I thought when Bob Myers went sniveling onto Rich Paul's press podcast, I was like, that's not a real thing. They're just kind of throwing that in the ether that he might go to Philly. So I think I'm just surprised that's the team that he picked. I think if Heat fans are bothered, my reaction to it is, well, because there's another really good team in the East. Like, I think Philly got better. There's no way you can sit here and be like, hey, Philly traded Paul George for Jaylen Brown and LeBron James, essentially, and got a lot better this offseason. They obviously have to deal with Joel Embiid and those creaky knees and whether or not they're going to hold up. But you are right. The ultimate thing is the Heat had a great offseason. They got Giannis. They turned into a new era of their franchise. But I definitely think there's a little sting. Like, you feel like you picked those guys over Giannis and Bam. And so there's got to be a little bit of that.
And also you factor in, I just saw Lebitard had out there that the Heat are annoyed because they offered him more than what the Sixers offered him. It was like half of what he eventually picked for by going to the Sixers. Who knows what's true? I'm just wondering, because there was a need for him in Miami, and it felt like, at least from my view, the last week and a half, Giannis press conference, Pat's basically alluding to it like you were talking about, and then there was a lot of talk on social media, the scheduled press conference. It felt like he was coming here. Does that change the way you view LeBron's time here, that he left him at the altar for a reunion tour?
No, nothing's going to sting like the way that he left and how hurt I was that he went back to Cleveland after the way those fans treated him. Nothing's ever going to compare to that. Like, and at that point, I was left with Josh McRoberts. Here, I still have Giannis. Like, it's way different.
So it's not like an F that guy LeBron screwed
it's
up.
not even close. I did find
You're
that
a lot
funny.
different than I am, Tobin. I would be screaming, going nuts on this guy today.
I did find it funny. I did see that clip from Lebitard too, where the Heat are miffed. It's like, you guys feel miffed that LeBron James chose his decision over $4 million. Like, he's a billionaire.
I mean, he literally makes that in a day on
He
interest.
sneezes it out.
If that is true, I think if you guys wanted to make money the decision, you probably should have come with a lot more money than $4 million extra dollars a year for LeBron James. I don't think $4 million gets LeBron James out of bed anymore.
It's a rounding error for him.
Are you surprised he went to Philly, though, Tobin, because he had never played there? Because I always felt like if there was the team he was going to go to that he hadn't played for yet, and I don't know if it's a legacy thing. I don't know. It was just my gut feeling. It'd be Miami or Cleveland because he's been here already. It was going to be Golden State. Is that why you're surprised that it's Philly? Because from a non-Heat fan perspective, I get it. I mean, the roster's stacked now.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised because of an unfamiliarity with a lot of guys there, I guess, except for Maxey. He's got a good relationship with because of Clutch. But the idea that, Jaylen Brown was taking pot shots at his kid and, Joel Embiid, I mean, I couldn't imagine hitching my wagon to him knowing that every time the spring comes around, he's going to have some new injury. I mean, no big man falls more to the ground than him. And I just found that because I do think that if you kind of read all the Cleveland tea leaves, seemed very much like he didn't want to trust playing with James Harden if he wanted to play for a championship. I kind of feel like Joel Embiid's the next step to that as far as like biggest disappointments for being as good as they were. But yeah, it definitely was the one. If I had to rank all of them, Philly to me would have been picked last. I would have thought Golden State because he wanted to play with Steph and stay on the West Coast. But I guess if you look at it and he's like, that is the best roster, there's definitely on paper an argument for it, no doubt about it. And I think if you're a Heat fan bothered by it, for me, it's just, damn, that's a really good added team to the East the Heat has to go through now. To me, more so than he didn't pick the Heat.
Now that it's all over and he's made his decision, do you believe what we heard for the 2-3 weeks leading up to it? Because we did hear over and over from Rich Paul, he had not made a final decision. And I wonder if you think last night LeBron went to bed, still didn't know where he was going to play, and decided around 11:30 this morning, I think it's going to be Philadelphia. We heard it was going to be for the enjoyment and the love of the game and for his family. And then we read LeBron's statement and he says, I didn't do it for family and I didn't do it for anything other than I want to compete at the highest level and feel like I'm competing for a championship. So it really was a basketball decision more than anything. So do you believe anything that we heard leading into what we found out today? And did we not really hear anything? And they're going to say, no, you guys created that on your own. We never said anything.
Yeah, I think there is an element. It dragged out so long that you can't help but have your mind wander if you're the media and your fans and you're all this and you're Kalshi and Hard Rock and you get all this influence around, and someone's going to hear something about how confident they are. I just think that it dragged out so long, Hawk, that inevitably, all these narratives are going to come through. But if you just go by the way LeBron's really conducted business, they usually have their decision pretty in the bag. And yeah, maybe you hear some other pitches because you like to make it feel, and maybe you want to see, are there other better options out there? I'm not saying that there was no shot that Miami was in the game for him or got a real talking to at it. But if you also hear what they said, they didn't do the whole pitch me, hey, give me your thoughts, give me a voice note, and that's it. We're going to make the decision. So I kind of feel like you knew what Philly was bringing to the table. I just think we're all a little surprised that ended up being what he wanted to pick just because of how unfamiliar he was with it.
Hypothetically, Tobin, if you could have the option of getting Jaylen Brown and LeBron or just Giannis, who would you rather have? I would have to imagine still Giannis, right?
Yeah, it is still Giannis. And I think that's the thing is I think he's the better player than both of them, and especially at this age. I do wonder, with Jaylen Brown having to fit in there with Tyrese Maxey, which is he kind of wanted to go do his own thing, and now this is going to be the least amount. This is even less than Boston of Jaylen Brown having his own team than he used to. I'm sure they'll all say the right things and buy into it. But Giannis is still a monster. He seems very motivated. I think my early read on it is I still think the Heat are going to be an enormous big pain in the ass to play in the regular season because they're going to be nothing but defense and hounding people. And I think Giannis is going to bring that every single night. My questions are going to come in the playoffs. Do they have the ability to really knock off these teams? Do they have a go-to guy? Can Giannis be that guy? But I almost think that this Heat team is set up to be surprisingly good in the regular season with all of the pieces they have around and their defensive mentality. So I dig that. I think that that's still, I still think that that's a more impactful ad for the regular season. It'll just be a matter of, okay, kind of like Philly with their health questions, but that they have go-to guys and closer guys and guys who have done it because Jaylen Brown's done it. LeBron's done it. But Miami, the question is going to be, all right, can Giannis lead that and do that in the playoffs anymore?
Jaylen Brown's done it. LeBron's done it. Joel Embiid still wants the ball late in the game too. That's going to be fun. Tobin, I hate to go down this road, but I think it's a fair one to, at the very least, just ponder. Did the Miami Heat ruin their chances at LeBron because of the YouTube post?
No, I don't think that's. I don't think that's what happened at all. I think I think the Miami Heat, obviously, if they're thinking they were in the game for LeBron, they probably were planning some things for LeBron, and somebody had fat thumbs and accidentally hit public instead of posted. But no, I don't think LeBron seeing you guys think there's going to be a press conference. I'm changing my mind. No, I don't think that happened.
But here's what I don't get with that whole thing. Like, they clearly thought there was a good chance he was coming. Why even schedule this? It's like you could schedule something an hour or two before it happens and they will get an incredible amount of views. I never understood scheduling it and having that date selected. It made me think that they thought it was a definite that he was coming to Miami.
I think this is like very inside the scene, but I think like any of us in media, I think that departments in sports can get run thin because you're asking one person to do. Clearly, they're very much looking for people to do those jobs. So you're probably asking somebody who that's not their job to do that job. And that's how mistakes happen.
How much
so
I think, by the way?
I don't know. But I think that's what happens, Zach. Like, I think it's as dumb as, hey, our television person is now our social media person until we hire a social media person. And a TV person made a social media mistake because they're not a social media person.
Wow, so you're blaming Jason Jackson
I'm
for
not
this?
blaming it.
I'm blaming Crazy Andy. We talked about this yesterday. Crazy Andy was given the YouTube password, and that's what happened, unfortunately. It was Uptown Dale. No, but Take me through your own personal reaction. So I'll tell you, someone sent it to me on text, the Shams tweet, and I immediately thought my buddy just got fooled by
Scam Charania.
In fact, Jimmy got fooled by a fake Shams account a couple days ago and sent me and Solana and Crowder that he was going to Philly, and then we jumped all over Jimmy for getting fooled.
The good old Shams Charana.
Yeah, but you can buy the blue check mark now. Like, it's so easy to get fooled. So I thought my friend got fooled, and then I click on it, and it's 4 million followers, and I'm like, holy hell, this is real. Like, because Philly for me. I thought if it's not Miami or Cleveland, because I was so under the belief that it was about happiness, I was certain it was going to be Golden State. I thought if there was a surprise team and it wasn't Miami or Cleveland, it would be Golden State because he loved playing with Steph during the Olympics and he wanted to replicate that for NBA fans and himself for a season. So it took me a couple seconds to process it. Not that I want to use process, but it took me a couple seconds to process it. And then I was like, wow. And I was trying to figure out what my emotions were at the time. Like, I was a little bit disappointed because I was almost 99% certain he was coming to the Heat. I wonder, when the news broke during your show, what were your initial reactions and where are you now with it?
Yeah, I was definitely stunned. I definitely was stunned. I didn't think it was going to be Philly. And you mentioned comfort. Like, God, that's such a miserable fan base to want to go play for. And I just think to myself, he is still going to be 42. And at some point, he's not going to be this unbelievable god of basketball. So, like, I think about if he would have come to Miami, okay, there's still a soft landing here. You have fans who are going to be happy to have you. Cleveland, obviously, you're going to have that soft landing. Should it get to the point where, hey, Father Time actually taps him on the shoulder and he's not the same? Whereas Philly's going to be ruthless if he's not the same.
I actually disagree with that. If it was the Eagles, yes. In Philadelphia with the Sixers, it's a very how they're doing kind of on the court product. The fact that they get LeBron, I have a lot of friends in Philadelphia. They're going to be like pigs rolling in doo-doo the next 2 years. Now,
they were so notoriously soft with Ben Simmons. They really were supportive of him when he was going through tough times.
Well, Ben Simmons deserved it. I'm telling you, they were LeBron's biggest haters yesterday. Today, they will become unapologetically the biggest fans until LeBron says he's done in Philadelphia, because ever since Kawhi Leonard made that shot, they have had no belief that they could win a championship. And this is the first time in like 6 or 5 years Sixers fans wake up thinking they could actually win a championship.
Which, look, is their right to think that, because, again, the roster looks loaded. But, again, it goes to, it's nice to think that now, but what if LeBron, by the time we get to March, doesn't look like the force that we all have come to know, and then all of that goes out the window? You're still the bum that I never liked. Like, they just... you're right. Look how they treat Jalen Hurts. They threw snowballs at Santa. Like, they're miserable. And so I do wonder that. But as my whole process went through, it's like, yeah, you allowed ourselves to kind of dive into it because I was he's going to Cleveland. This is all going to make a documentary. And then it just kept going and you just allow yourself to think. And so it's like, yeah, there's a sting, but I almost wonder, from the Heat's perspective, it's like, damn, all right, he doesn't want to go here. There's got to be a little edge of like, okay, you got to take that personally if you're Bam and Giannis.
For sure.
Because it's like you picked Joel Embiid and Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey over us. And I think that's I think that's gonna make for a juicy season because, as much as we've been excited about the duo, LeBron James obviously looked at that and said, no, that's a better basketball situation. And so I wonder how they're going to take that as players.
Here's the other thing, Tobin, that I wonder, because there was so much made that the relationship is restored between Pat and LeBron. I wonder if LeBron called Pat to let him know that he wasn't coming. Like, I'm curious how Pat found out in this whole scenario.
No shot.
I don't know.
It's a bad job done by LeBron.
I would doubt it. It's just, I think the Heat were here's the thing with the LeBron pursuit, though. They could still go like that. It didn't hold up any business for the Heat. I think that's the difference is like when this happened, Pat Riley's going to tell you, I had Pau Gasol on the line. I had other guys to add to you, and you just kept me in the dark and you were doing sneaky meetings with Dan Gilbert back in the day. I just don't think he's going to be cut as deep this time around. He's got his guy. He was very, very happy that he was able to land Giannis. Does it, do you feel anything? Yeah, maybe anybody's going to say that they didn't get picked.
No, he's got to be pissed today.
I just don't think it could be anywhere close to where it was 10 years ago.
Brendan Tobin, you hear him middays on this very radio station. Have a great weekend, Tobin. I'm guessing you'll post some content on your YouTube channel and work out all your emotions throughout the weekend.
Thank you, buddy. Take care,
right,
and
buddy.
Please apologize to Goran.
Well, I'm sure when you're vacationing with him this weekend, you can mention it for me. Brendan Tobin there from Middays. We'll take a break here. We'll come back with more continuing coverage here of LeBron to Philadelphia. More continuing coverage on Hochman, Crowder, and Solana.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
He's going to Greenbow, Alabama.
Everybody agree that LeBron took the riskiest path by going to Philadelphia? Because my contention, Zach Gelb, by the way, in for Crowder today. Solana and I are here. Jimmy is here as well. My contention would be if he went to Cleveland, there are no expectations. Everybody knows that that team is not particularly on the level of other good teams in the East, and it's a fitting homecoming for someone who has made so much of their career and life about Cleveland. If he goes to Miami, excellent team, but also is the comfort food of returning for one more go round with a fan base who was so supportive of me for 4 seasons and kind of putting a proper bookend on his tenure with the Heat that may not have ended as great as he wanted it to or the Heat wanted it to. And if he goes to Golden State, it's obviously not to win a championship. It's to entertain the basketball world. I'm running out of time, so Steph, we're going to play 1 season together. We're going to have as much fun as we can, be as competitive as we can. Going to Philadelphia with no ties, no familiarity, he has to come out of there with a championship, no?
I don't think it's the riskiest. I actually think it's the most respectable because he could have gone to Cleveland. It would have been safe. It was nostalgic. He could have gone back to Miami. And yeah, they would have been a championship contender, but I think people would rank like where still are the Miami Heat. Going to Golden State, that would just be kind of gutless and it wouldn't really make sense. But we've seen before with LeBron, you never know what this guy's going to do once he hits free agency. Maybe it wasn't stunning he went to Miami the first time he did, but the way he did it was stunning. When he left to go back to Cleveland, I didn't expect that. When he went to LA, it wasn't to win a championship. He was able to get one. So this is what this guy does. And it's funny, 8 years ago when he went to LA, people thought he wasn't going to win a championship and it was a movie to set up life after basketball. But now at the age of 41, getting ready to play his 24th season, it should only be about winning another championship. And he went to the place that out of the possible suitors had the best roster and took a nothing contract to try to go win a championship. So yes, Hawk, it is high stakes and big expectations, but if he doesn't win in Philadelphia, he's still the second greatest player of all time.
He has to win in Philadelphia, or this is a weird moment at the end of his unbelievable career.
But if he went to Miami, wouldn't he have said this was the place that gave me the best chance to win a championship? And then it's go win a championship.
But he's got ties here already, and he's got 2 championships here. When it's all said and done, you're going to be able, if he doesn't win a championship, to look at LeBron and say, what was he doing in Cleveland that last couple of years? Made no sense.
I do think this move comes with the most pressure to win
than
any of the other ones. Maybe, Gelb, you're right. It's the right move from the standpoint of he wants to compete. By the way, as somebody who has for years been saying LeBron's got to get out of LA, he's got to maximize the final couple seasons of his career and go hunt for titles, because I believe, like you said, Hawk, earlier in the show, that the difference between him and Jordan will always be the 6 to 4 rings right now. But this is the most pressure to win because he's going to a situation with the best roster, and he also has an opportunity to become the first player in the history of the league to win a title with 4 different organizations, which is something that I think LeBron weighed in this decision. So to me, it's the most pressure to win. He goes to Cleveland. He doesn't have to win for it to be a success. He comes to Miami. There's pressure to win with Giannis and with Bam, and it's a new quote-unquote big 3. There's certainly pressure, but he delivered here already. In Philly, he hasn't delivered anything. And kind of to the token to what Tobin was saying, the Sixers haven't been out of the second round since the last time they won a title in 50 years ago?
Well, when they got to the finals. Oh no, they got to the Western. They got to the Western Conference Finals many years ago, like 2008 or something like that.
No, you're right. In 2001 with AI when they got to the
step
to the
over
NBA
Ty
finals.
Lue. Yeah.
Since the last time that they were in the finals, they haven't been out of the second round, especially since they started the process. If he doesn't get out of the second round in year 1, it's going to be a much bigger failure, considered a much bigger failure than had he lost in the first or second round in Miami or in Cleveland.
I think you're right.
It's 305.
Dale.
God bless. Dale.
Dale.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome.
305, sponsored by Miami Lakes Chevrolet, where you walk in as a customer and drive out as family. I think you're right, Solana. It's not the riskiest path. It's the path with the most pressure, though. And there's a difference between the two.
Sure. Also, I got to call a spade here. Could we get the true thoughts of Solana? Like you and Tobin, you guys are pretending it's like you're not like an abused person and everything's all right and everything's great. You guys are hurt today. I don't get why you guys can't say that.
I'm going to tell you before Solana even tells you. You don't understand what it feels like to have landed Giannis this off season. This is fine.
Sure.
This is the waiter bringing you the cake you've been waiting for because you love the frosting and forgetting the cherry. And you go, I love this cake.
I got to push back on that.
Would have been nice.
But here's where I got to push back on it. Giannis gets traded to the Heat. I go, Hawk, why don't you be a guest on your own show? LeBron doesn't come to the Heat. You get an appetite on an off day to come on in and host. It's because you're pissed.
There's a big no. There's a big difference. I was at 39,000 feet.
Oh, don't give me facts.
Flying to Zurich. You wanted me on my first day in Zurich to carve out 4 hours to talk about Giannis coming to the Heat when I was going to have the next 5 seasons to talk about Giannis being with the Heat. Today, I was getting ready to leave for Weston to have lunch with a friend of mine in Weston, and I was like, well, this could be the easiest 4 hours of work that I ever do, and I don't have to drive to Weston. By the way, I did text Ira Winderman, who's in Sweden.
Is he really?
Hey, yeah. I said, hey, publish your stories. He was telling us before he left, he has all the stories published. LeBron leaves the Heat at the altar. LeBron comes back to the Heat. LeBron returns to the Cavs. And we had even joked about when the Heat published that press conference YouTube link.
Yeah.
He had said to me, the one big mistake there, because everyone gets prepared for stuff, he goes, the one big mistake there is that they hit publish. And I won't make that mistake. But Ira, I texted him when it happened, publish the story. And he responded, I just did. Literally called it in on my phone from a ferry in the harbor at Stockholm. And then I did text him later on this afternoon. I said, do you think you could get special dispensation from Sherry, his wife, to jump on with us this afternoon? And he said, no, she is holding firm. Sorry.
Ira whipped.
Yeah.
That's a big takeaway there. But here's the one thing. And I get it, right? He's going on a vacation. The drama was taking forever to make this decision. You got to go on your vacation. I think you eliminate the human emotion out of this. Because if I would have said to you 3 days ago, LeBron goes to Philadelphia, it's like, oh, yeah, I didn't see that one coming. But when it actually hits the fan today, my emotions change from 11:30 to what it is now, because my takeaway right now, and it's not good for the Heat, it's for WQEM, yeah, sure, we still have Giannis Antetokounmpo is...
Wait, but don't do that so flippantly. Hey, we still have...
You do.
No.
You do. That's...
Okay, right, but it's a little more than, hey, we still have Giannis, like, consolation prize. He's the bigger prize.
He is, but you could still get two... As someone that was their parents' favorite child, you could get multiple gifts, right, for Hanukkah, or multiple gifts for Christmas. It's not just one gift. Yes, you got the gift. You got the main gift on your list. But if you ask for 4 gifts and you only get one, you're like, I thought I was going to get 2 or 3, and I didn't. But I respect what LeBron did, because I've been sitting here saying, you should only play if you think you go win a championship. And he took $4 million a year, or 3 point whatever. I can't do math. And he said, I'm going to go to a team that I think is the best to go win a championship. And that's respectable to me.
Do you think, Gelby, that there are shirts already for sale on the Ocean City Boardwalk with LeBron and the Sixers?
Funny you say that. I did see John Clark from NBC Sports
Philadelphia. Just saw that. That's why I was thinking of that.
Who's down at the shore. Yeah. Sixers fans are going wild. I do think it's very different, though. I see all these videos of like Sixers fans walking out of Wawa's. I think it's a little bit different if you go to Publix today, seeing what that reaction is. You know, they have some pub subs, which are absolutely delicious, but I don't think you're seeing very happy Miami Heat fans out of Publix.
What a day, man. What a day.
Yeah, I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
I do wonder what the reaction is, though, in Cleveland, though. Do you
furious.
think Cleveland is... You think they're furious again, like when he came to Miami?
No, not to that level, because that was just public humiliation on a national stage.
Because of the way he did it.
That was, I'm going to cheat on you, and then I'm going to pretend like we're going to get married and then expose the person I'm cheating with and then grab them and then run to a better destination. That's what that was. This was, I'm going to tease you. I'm going to pretend like I'm going home from the bar with you. And right after you make me buy 4 or 5 drinks for the hot gal, at the end of the night, she goes, not really feeling that well. I'm going home. That's what LeBron did to them with an ex that they were just trying to use them for a little dinero.
Here's the update from ESPN Cleveland, their radio station up in Ohio. 2 free agent names to watch now that the Cavs are not getting LeBron. Jonathan Kuminga and Mario Hezonja.
But I still have to call cap on Solana's emotions because, Hawk, when you were out, I did 2 weeks of shows with Solana, and all it was LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. Solana did that little look that he gives. Oh, he's coming back. Oh, yeah, here we go, LeBron. Gelb and Crowder, I'm ready to go after you guys when the Heat get LeBron. And today he's like, no big deal, not the end of the world. I think that's fraudulent by Solana. I do.
All right, let's put you on truth serum, Solana. But I don't want to hear from Solana right now at 3:12 in the afternoon. I want to hear from Solana at 11:30 this morning when you first saw the Shams tweet. Is that how you learned about it?
My brother called me, and I pick up the phone, and I say, what up? He's like, well, I guess we're not getting LeBron. And I said, why? What'd you see? What now? He said, Shams just tweeted. He's going to Philly. And I said, get the F out of here. No, he didn't. He said, dude, I swear. So I put him on speaker, and I go to Twitter, and there it is. And I have 18 messages that I haven't read yet. LeBron James is going to Philly. And I said, wow, that kind of sucks. And he's like, yeah. Hey, let me ask you, by the way, and he starts asking me. I don't even know what my brother's asking me. I just hung up on him. I'm like,
you were pissed.
We're going to have, no, it's just like, we're going to have a conversation about what right now? Like, LeBron's not coming here. I don't want to have a conversation about, I don't even know what he was talking about. I hung up on my brother. And then, I posted a little video saying I never wanted him. Had no interest in the old geezer. And you move forward, Gelb. Here's the thing. You know, Miami, we're used to winning. We're used to it. Not like you New Yorkers. You got Giannis already, baby. We won. This offseason is golden. You paired Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bam Adebayo together in Miami.
I'm telling you, as much as I love Solana, and I understand you guys got a wonderful player in Giannis Antetokounmpo, if they got LeBron, Solana would have been going after everybody,
but
going nuts. We're not seeing the true meltdown. I want to see the meltdown.
They're not mutually exclusive. It's not, hey, you either would have been thrilled or you wouldn't have cared. We would have been thrilled to get LeBron. We talked about it for the last couple of weeks. Of course we were excited. But the fact that we didn't get him is not heartbreaking. Now, if we didn't get Giannis this offseason and we thought LeBron was going to end up being our saving grace, then you got a whole different show on your hands and a whole different set of emotions. But we got Giannis.
You're not even in the conversation without Giannis Antetokounmpo for LeBron James. And you're seeing that I don't know if it was Barry Jackson who pointed this out, but it was so spot on where he said, clearly, LeBron values Jaylen Brown a lot more than the Boston Celtics did, and a lot of other teams who were not willing to trade for Jaylen Brown do. And we saw from Shams that the Sixers weren't even on the table for LeBron James until they traded for Jaylen Brown. So, Gelb, am I a little disappointed? For
Yes.
sure, I think all Heat fans
You're
are a
furious.
little disappointed.
No, he's not. Who
yes,
wouldn't
he
be
is.
disappointed if you had a chance to get LeBron?
He
You don't
hung
get him,
up
but
on
that
his
doesn't mean you're
own brother.
furious.
He hung up on his own brother. We called that rage quitting. And then he gets on the air and he's like, yeah, I don't care. We ain't get LeBron. We're going to go get DeMar DeRozan. It's going to be fine. And Klay
I don't
Thompson's
want-
going to
I
be
don't
coming
want
But
here.
it
DeMar
is going to be
DeRozan.
fine.
Oh, Bradley
What-
Beal.
Like, it is going to be fine. I think I told you earlier this week, I think the Heat have a better roster than the Knicks. And that was before LeBron was here.
Well, you guys tell me a lot of wrong things on this show. Let's be real.
Yeah, I agree with that take, Hawk, 100%. I'm also so much higher on this Heat team, even without LeBron James, prior to him making his decision. I'm a lot higher on this Heat team right now, without DeMar, without Bradley Beal, without the Klay Thompson, just who they have right now, than most people are outside of Miami. Because I think you put Giannis and Bam on the floor together with Andrew Wiggins and Davion Mitchell, those four, you're going to have the best defensive team in the NBA with the best defensive-minded coach in the NBA, and that's going to be a tough team to go up against in the NBA regular season. And come playoff time, that's going to be a tough team to try to go through in a best-of-7 series. And am I a little disappointed because I thought LeBron takes the Heat to another level? For sure. I'm not going to backtrack. I thought the fit was great. I think Miami's biggest flaw right now is another creator, another playmaker, and somebody late in games who can take over and win you a game. That's LeBron James. Perfectly. There's no doubt about it. He makes the team better. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Heat fans have to be in shambles today because LeBron James chose the Philadelphia 76ers when I think our team is really good. I think the Heat are going to compete next season. And you got Giannis Antetokounmpo had to struggle with Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, and for the last 3 years going through the play-in tournament. That's behind you now with Giannis.
I should just say the defense rests because you just made my point. You just said the Heat are going to be a tough team in the postseason. The Heat are a good team.
Yeah.
If they got LeBron today, Solana, you're saying they're winning the championship. They're going to the NBA Finals. You're not doing that today.
Oh, stop it. He's a defensive
absolutely
liability
would've.
at this point. I mean, look at the defenders they have out there. LeBron out there is a defensive liability.
I
Dodged
love
a
about it
bullet.
on this show.
Dodged
talking
a
about
bullet.
41-year-old Gub. I mean, do you know
Yeah.
ball?
Yeah, because old people don't go to Florida ever. Never happens.
No, the
right? Have
reason,
success.
understand, he was a good basketball fit down here and probably is one of the pieces that we needed. But he's not, I don't think, the difference between them having success in the postseason or not. That's how good I think this team is. What we wanted, in my opinion, was the party. We had a 4-year party with LeBron James. I was saying this to Crowder and Solana this week. Do you know how rare it is to have an unbelievable, maybe the most memorable era of sports in your lifetime and then get a chance to replicate it after you thought it was over forever? That's what we were excited about. And by the way,
I lived
our
it.
party's still going on.
I lived it. Pats won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, won a decade without winning, and then won 3 more championships.
Yeah, but you didn't have any fun personalities on that team. Like, we
Not
had
at
the
all.
Yeah,
big
Rob
three. We're doing the
Gronkowski.
Harlem Shake. You've
Oh,
got
yeah.
Bill Belichick hemming and hawing. There was Tom Brady wouldn't say 2 words back then.
Yeah.
I mean, there were no personnel. There was
Gronk?
no fun surrounding that Patriots run.
Gronk?
Gronk
And they
didn't even know
cheated.
where he was.
They cheated the entire time. They're filming opposite sidelines. They're deflating footballs to make it easier for old man Brady to throw them.
Murderer on the
I was going to
sideline.
bring up Hernandez, but then you said fun times. I just thought you were talking about controversy, honestly. I was like, there's a lot of off the field stuff if we really want to go down this rabbit hole.
I'm not disappointed. Excuse me. I'm not mad,
You can't
and I'm
even
not
get your shtick
outraged
right.
at LeBron. I am a little disappointed. I'm more shocked than anything about Philly. I could have seen Cleveland today. I could have seen Golden State today. I never thought LeBron James would stay in the East and go to a team he hasn't played for, especially a team like Philly. When you think of structure, when you think of organizational success, Philly doesn't check any of those boxes. The roster is great. I'm not taking away from the roster. They got JB this offseason. They traded Paul George for Jaylen Brown and LeBron James. Like, they deserve all the credit in the world. But I never saw him going to a team he hadn't played for yet, unless it was with Steph Curry, especially for a team that there's a lot of question marks like Philly, and he's never going to be a Philly guy. So that to me is why I'm shocked.
But you do have a better infrastructure right now in Philly than they've ever had in a long time. You got a championship coach in Nick Nurse. I'm talking about from LeBron's perspective. You got Bob Myers, who's a part of that ownership group with the role that he plays with Harris and Blitzer. And then you have Mike Gansey, who also was the runner-up in Ohio for Mr. Basketball to who? LeBron James. I think that it felt like home in a weird way because he's never played there yet, where Cleveland is home and then the Heat were also his home for a while as well.
But here's the thing. I don't think it felt like home. Maybe he has friends there and maybe it's comfortable, more comfortable than we thought. Here's the thing. We only had to go off of what we thought was important to him. And what we kept hearing was, this is a family decision. Where does my family want to be?
That's
I can guarantee you there was no one in his family that voted for Philadelphia as their city of residence. I can guarantee you. They don't have any ties there. What we were led to believe wasn't true. Again, was it their fault that they lied to us, or did they never say that and we created it? When I say we, I mean the media. So whatever it was, we were under the impression that the parameters of the decision had to do with happiness and family. And that's why the Philadelphia decision becomes so shocking, is because it doesn't check any box other than being closest to winning a championship. And had we been told that was going to be the most important thing, I think everybody kind of would have lined up behind that.
Do you know what today is, by the way?
National Tequila Day.
It is. I'm going to tell you what happens here. Solana is processing right now. Maybe not the best choice of words, but he's in denial right now. At about 8:15 tonight, he's going to sit down, pour a nice thick glass of tequila, and he's going to say, "Oh, truck." And he's going to let out an hellacious scream because it's going to finally hit him at some point tonight. And I'm going to be like the boogeyman for Solana because it's going to happen. And he's going to be like, that mother bleeper, that New York jackass and Zach Gelb, that bloviating pig is absolutely right. There will be a moment tonight where Solana will crash out, and you should go on Instagram Live. I think it'd be highly entertaining.
You could not be more wrong, Gelb. You just could not be more wrong. I'm a truth teller when it comes to the Heat because I wear my emotions on a sleeve. I am. You could not be more wrong. This is not hitting us like a ton of bricks like you think it is.
Just like how I was told that Tua was going to be a great quarterback for this organization. Just like I was told that Giannis was never going to come here when we were in studio. And Solana and I were annoyed with Giannis.
Those are predictions January. When it comes to sports. You're talking about emotion. You're saying Heat fans feel so betrayed and let down by LeBron. And I'm telling you, we don't. We would have loved for him to play here. It's not going to. When he went from Miami to Cleveland, I couldn't clear my head. I had a tough time doing the show. And this is nothing like that.
I never said it was that.
Nothing.
Hold on, I never said it was that. It's pain.
But it's nothing.
It's not the
like
worst pain
it's
that you've ever had, but it's
scale.
painful. There's pain here. Solana looks like a sad puppy dog today. He can't even have a good poker face here. I haven't seen the guy crack a smile once during this show.
You're creating your own narrative that's not true. And he keeps refuting everything you're saying. And then you just keep saying, you're a liar and I see it on your face, which is a very disingenuous way to argue anything because you can argue anything that way.
I've had many people in my life try to tell me that everything's all right. Oh, everything's good. And I go, are you really good? And you know that they're lying to you. I'm not saying that this is an everlasting pain and sorrow. It shouldn't be. The Heat had a really good offseason getting Giannis Antetokounmpo. They got the biggest fish that they needed to get. But today, your heart was played with for the last 2 weeks. You both thought he was coming here. And right now, there is disappointment for the rejection. That's what it is. There is disappointment with the rejection that has
anger. I was more disappointed that Dame Lillard didn't end up here than I am in LeBron not ending up here.
For sure. You want to see a crash out, Gelb? Go look up that video where we find out live on the air Damian Lillard was getting traded to Milwaukee. I mean, you want to see me cry? That's the video right there. I couldn't even do the show anymore. I was so sick to my stomach.
I'm just saying, men don't lie to men, and I feel like I'm getting lied to today. I feel
All
like
right,
I'm getting lied to by all you guys.
Let's get headlines real quick because Lee Sterling is going to join us. He has been on a heater when it comes to UFC, so I wanted to make sure we get a pick. But also, he's got the NBA, the new NBA futures. He's been looking at what all the different sports books are posting now for the Sixers and the Heat and the Cavs and everyone else. So let's do headlines here for the, what are we in, the 3 o'clock hour? Real quick, brought to you by Doral Hyundai. In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito. When we want a low price, we save with a Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai.
You want to know who's a man lying to another man? That's LeBron James. He starts off his post today. I thought I was done when the season ended. Yeah, okay. I mean, what are you doing, dude? Come on.
See, I'm the only one that tells the truth on this show today. That was definitely a lie by LeBron.
See, I believe him.
Oh my
I believe him.
Of course you do. Of course.
I believe people at their word.
Why do you believe athletes?
I mean, I believe it's my default. I believe people at their word, which is why I'm outraged that Gelb doesn't believe you. You've been adamant. I'm not hurt. I'm not crashing out. I'm not going to crash out. And he's picking it apart, just saying exactly what you're going to say about LeBron right now. Well, I don't believe it. Even though the person says one thing, you're just choosing not to believe them.
Here's the thing. And I don't want this to come off disrespectful because this is your show and I would never disrespect you on your own show. You were on vacation, a well-deserved vacation. I was in the trenches with Solana and I saw how much his brain was just rolling and he was just salivating over the thought of LeBron coming back here. I did that for 2 weeks. Now it's just poof on no big
You
deal.
are conflating two things.
I'm not.
You can be excited about the eventuality of something and also not be heartbroken if it doesn't happen.
I'm telling you, Solana is hurt. He's dejected. There's no doubt about it today.
I'm
and he
trying
knows
to
I'm
defend
right.
Solana there, but he's going to do it to LeBron right now. He's going to say the same thing. I don't believe him.
I appreciate you going to bat for me, Hawk. Genuinely, I do. But LeBron is being LeBron. He's lying because there is no way that LeBron James is going to retire randomly at the end of a season before announcing he's going to retire. There is no way he goes through a season without letting everybody know this will be my last game. This will be my last week. This will be my last time playing the Lakers. This will be my last time playing in Cleveland. There is no way he will allow that to happen. I wouldn't believe it. Outside of like, knock on wood, I don't wish this on anybody. Some like major injury that forces him to retire.
Yeah, like an Achilles.
Knock on wood.
Well, what will you say when he just ups and retires after a season?
Like I always do, Hawk. I'll admit when I'm wrong.
When does that ever happen?
Nobody's more accountable than I am.
Will be the first time and the last time. And the only time.
All right. Outside of LeBron James, guy chose Philly. Doesn't want to win. What can you do? You move forward. It is what it is.
It would be funny if he wins a championship there and that clip just goes all around social media.
Well, he's not going to win a championship first year because you think back to when he came to Miami. What happened?
Lost to the Mavs.
His second year.
Wait.
He goes to Cleveland. What happens? Won a championship. His second year. Went to Los Angeles. What happened? Won a championship. His second year. These are just trends, fellas. He's not winning a title
till these Philly fans get a hold of him when they start 8 and 9, like he did with the Big Three era. Oh, you wait. You think we were a little nervous? You wait and see what Philly fans do to him.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a honeymoon phase that's going to last 2 years with LeBron.
I
think they only
start
freak
1
out
and
if
1
it's in the postseason.
They're going to throw batteries at him if they start 1 and 1.
No, please. That take is stuck in like the 70s, please.
Crazy to think that Philly fans wouldn't turn on LeBron James if this season didn't end up the way that they expect it to. And I'm going to say this, there's going to be a moment in the first month where Joel Embiid misses 6, 7, 8 consecutive games. And Hawk, I cannot wait. Mid to late January, LeBron James, post-game press conference after Philly's on a 3-game losing skid. Joel Embiid's played 16 games, and there's a passive-aggressive, subtle comment calling out Joel Embiid, not directly, but you know it's going to be about Joel Embiid, questioning his commitment to victory. That is going to
he already hates Jaylen Brown. I mean, this is going to be a disaster. I can't wait to watch this.
And here's the other thing.
That post-game presser is going to hit better than a cigarette right before you walk into that Dolphins that Dolphin stadium after tailgating all day. Like, it is going to be beautiful.
And why will it hit so well? Because you're upset LeBron's not going to Miami. That's
all right,
why.
Let's get through the headlines here because I want to have enough time with Lee Sterling.
The Marlins do play tonight, by the way. They've lost 9 straight, but it's okay. They're at home. They play the San Diego Padres tonight. 7:10 p.m. is your first pitch. Listen to the game right here on FM 104.3 WQAM. Inter Miami does play Montreal tomorrow. They're going to be in Canada. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 90 degrees. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the low 80s. Enjoy those harsh winters up in Pennsylvania, old man.
No jealousy.
This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. You have a leaky roof? Take action now. Get your free estimate. Call 954-968-8155.
All right, Lee Sterling's going to have some winners for us in the next segment, hopefully. You know I'm a huge believer in Atlantic Men's Clinic. As I got older, I wasn't feeling like myself. I would get tired more easily, and it's why I started getting testosterone at Atlantic Men's Clinic. Guys, low testosterone is something men younger and younger are experiencing. So if your game isn't quite what it used to be, you've got less energy, less drive, you don't feel like yourself, you deserve to feel your best. At Atlantic Men's Clinic, their advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you lose weight and have more energy and improve your sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, helping you get back to feeling your best. And they have successfully treated thousands of men for low T, including me. And I'm going to tell you, you will absolutely notice the difference. So if you think you might be low T, go to AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. You could take the low T quiz that's right there on their website. Takes 2 minutes. And then schedule a consultation. You go there. They do your lab work. They have your results within 30 minutes. A Florida licensed medical provider will review your results with you and discuss your options. And then you make a decision together with their medical team. And if you're like the many men who are low T, within just a few weeks, you're going to feel your energy return and the brain fog go away. Your sleep improve, your workouts improve, and your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So call Atlantic Men's Clinic, 877-455-7300, 877-455-7300, or you can visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
What is going on with the bleu? El Rhinestone Cowboy means Lee Sterling is joining us on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. And Lee Sterling, he enjoyed his first avocado toast. This was it this weekend that we had brunch? He's muted.
Last Saturday.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah,
6
we had
days
brunch.
ago.
The Hockmans and the Sterlings had brunch, and Lee had seen me enjoy avocado toast so much on social media, he decided to try one for himself. Did it deliver?
It's okay. It's like a 6.4.
Didn't love it as much as I did. Anyway, Lee Sterling, he's a professional sports handicapper. The website is ParamountSports.com, and you can follow him on Twitter at Paramount Sports. And obviously, and we're running late because we're talking so much LeBron in Philadelphia. And so you were going to look into what the NBA futures. I haven't even had a chance to look since this news broke around 11:30. How much have the NBA futures changed? What's going on with NBA futures now that we know LeBron is headed to the Sixers?
So Oklahoma City and San Antonio for the NBA title are still the clear favorites. Anywhere from the major sites like Hard Rock, DraftKings, and FanDuel, anywhere from plus 250 to plus 400. They haven't changed much. Obviously, Philadelphia went from being almost a 20-1 underdog, and now they're anywhere from plus 450. Hard Rock has them at plus 900. I mean, they're not buying in at all. And the Knicks, they're right there, 730 plus 730 to about plus 900. So Hard Rock's saying it's virtual top between the Sixers and the Knicks, Zach Zelb's team. So that's pretty interesting. The Heat also all over the place. I mean, at DraftKings, they're 10-1. At FanDuel, they're 15-1. And Hard Rock must not be buying in that DeMar DeRozan's coming here. They have them at over 22-1. So if you like the Heat, and if they get DeMar DeRozan, those odds are going to go down. They'll probably end up at 15 or 17-1.
Solana, this is the time to jump in on the Heat right now. You and I are high on this team still. Plus 2250 on the Hard Rock app.
Plus 2250.
Yeah, I know I made fun of Alex in the past with soccer, but he is a Heat and an NBA expert. He works the catacombs underneath the stadium as well as anyone. He finds out all the info. So,
yeah, he was all on top of that LeBron news. Let me tell you, he had it before anybody. Shams and Solana, never seen him in the same room.
Lee had texted me earlier. He's like, sounds like Solana's a little myth that Tobin's your Heat expert. So I think Lee Sterling's trying to do a nice little gesture towards Solana there.
Appreciate you, Lee.
Everybody's taking care of Solana today because they think he's despondent over the news.
Lee's going to send him some of those cookies
Lee.
that were meant for LeBron from Pat Riley to cheer up Solana.
Solana, are you being honest? You are not despondent.
No, I'm not. I'm not despondent. I told you I'm a little disappointed. I thought it would have been fun, but I'm fine, Lee. Like I'm okay. I'll be at the
He's rattled.
I'll be at the farmers market on Sunday getting my my acai bowl and my macchiato just like I am every other Sunday, man. I'll be good. 100%.
Okay. The only reason that I was a little disappointed, I probably could have retired. If LeBron comes here, my 4 seats sitting mid-court, 12th row, those are worth $750,000 to at least $1 million.
I came so close because when they went to like minus 130, the Heat to land LeBron, I got some email from the Heat, one of those mid packages for the season. It was like a 20-game package. And I came so close to buying like 8 tickets, just thinking 100% this dude is coming here. This is going to be the hottest ticket in forever. And so I'll get my tickets now. Imagine me trying to sell those Tuesday night tickets featuring DeMar DeRozan.
I actually just checked my email during the break because I used to live in Philadelphia, 12:47 p.m. Time to lock in your seats. 2026, 2027 season tickets are selling fast. Don't miss your chance to join Society 76 is what they're calling
is
them.
there a better time to be selling Sixers tickets right now if you're one of those seat salesmen than right
Zach,
now?
you get the Sixers. they probably send that like 4 or 5 times a day. That email.
Well, the Heat better play the Sixers twice next year at home.
Yeah.
Give me 2 Sixer home games in Miami.
Yes, sir.
Right.
All right, let's get a winner here from Lee. He has been on a heater on this show when it comes to UFC, and you can get the entire card at ParamountSports.com. I always get the entire card because I'm a friend, but he's picked some good winners on this program. So who do you have for tomorrow for UFC? Give us a winner.
Okay, so normally when a fighter joins the UFC, the first couple fights they're on the prelims or the early prelims. The third fight, and this card starts at 9 o'clock. The main card starts at 12 noon. The third fight of the night on the main card is Islam Dulatov. And you're saying, who is he? Well, it's only his third fight. He is a 10-1. You got to lay 1,000 just to win 100 on him versus Wellington Turman. This guy throws punches like, you were taught to throw punches. He has major power, Russian, but he now lives in Dusseldorf, Germany. I like him by KO, TKO. It was minus 165 yesterday. At Hard Rock, it's up to minus 190. I mean, this guy, Wellington Turman, is 3-6 in the UFC. 2 of his 3 wins were against fighters that are fighting in promotions I barely even heard of. And Wellington Turman's going to be fish food. So Islam Dulatov, lay the 190 here by KO, TKO, who's won 7 of his 11 fights as a professional by KO or TKO.
I'm looking at it on the app right now. If anybody wants to tail this, it's scheduled to go off at 1:45 in the afternoon, our time. So you put it in tonight or tomorrow morning, but it's Islam Dulatov. He's a heavy favorite to win. You're saying by KO or TKO.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the way to bet this fight.
All right, Dulatov, KO or TKO over Wellington Turman. That is tomorrow. And that'll do it for Lee Sterling because we got to get to the 4 o'clock hour. The website is ParamountSports.com. Follow him on Twitter at Paramount Sports, and we will speak with you next week, Lee.
Thanks, guys. See you.
There you go. Lee Sterling. 4 o'clock hour is coming up. In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito. We dance the day away with a little salsita. And when we want a low price, you always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. Take advantage of your Pricito now on all your new Hyundai models like Tucsons, Elantras, Santa Fe, Palisades, and more. And every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Get the best value for your money and easy financing, fast service as well. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai. You can visit the dealership this weekend, or you could start shopping right now at DoralHyundai.com.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Answerton Pro.
Start out the 4 o'clock hour here with the stock market report that is sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE, 1-800-747-3733. Mixed day on Wall Street today. Dow Jones up 234 points. That's about 0.5%. S&P 500 up 3 points. That's nothing. NASDAQ down 161 points, down about 0.5%. Zach Gelb is in for Crowder today. We've got continuing coverage here of LeBron heading to Philadelphia, not the Miami Heat. We're going to get some headlines here from Solana in a second, but Barry Jackson in the Miami Herald has been doing a very good job of monitoring all the comments and backstory that's now coming out around this decision, because Rich Paul did a podcast today with Max Kellerman.
Shocker.
Solana has been so annoyed by during this entire process. Again, sorry about using that term, but here's what Barry Jackson has tweeted. Rich Paul on his podcast today regarding Adam Schefter, saying that he was told by a trusted source to watch out for the Heat with LeBron. Quote from Rich Paul, all the speculation was so far left, I felt bad for my guy Adam Schefter. Somebody sold him a lemon. I do wonder who Schefter was hearing that from, because he never really delves into other sports. And he several times was like, I'm hearing Miami. I'm hearing Miami.
He's done a little NBA sideline reporting at times. So, like, I wonder if maybe just a relationship that he made there and some guy that probably just texted him to kind of feel like he's in the mix with football and just tries to get info out of Shefty on his favorite football team. Maybe he's like, hey, like, you know, I'm an assistant in the NBA, and I hear it's LeBron to Miami. Like, I wonder if it's one of those things. I'm sure the source wasn't great.
Barry Jackson tweets out, Rich Paul said it was down to 4 teams, the Sixers, the Heat, the Cavs, and the Warriors, and the field was never reduced further. Minnesota was in it for a time, but Paul noted it's freezing there.
Can I just say this? I am tired of Rich Paul, and I'm tired of the ego in this decision. We got to have, if you want to talk to LeBron, send him a voice note. And then Rich Paul goes on this podcast that he does with Max Kellerman, and he circled Tyrese Maxey's name. So maybe that was something because it's a client of his. And then LeBron's at Fanatics Fest talking about, he used the word process, and all the fans were like, ooh and ah. Like, just admit it. You guys wanted a spectacle for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. We all shook our ass for you. Like, we all took it. We all did everything what you wanted, and we gave you what you wanted. But, like, the idea that, oh, yeah, like it was only these 4 teams and they didn't want any of this drama and all these other people, they got bad information. You guys wanted this. So let's act just like you guys wanted it.
I love how you guys just believe whatever you want to believe. It's such a convenient way to go through life.
Well, I'm not supposed to believe what I watch and react to.
You're suggesting that Rich Paul and LeBron James are saying one thing, and even though they're saying it, you know better.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I'm saying. You're choosing to believe and not believe at your leisure.
Yes, that is correct.
Here's another tweet from Barry Jackson. Rich Paul said LeBron made his decision at 1 a.m. after going back and forth all day. Let me guess. You don't believe him.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Who makes a big life decision at 1 a.m. unless if it's a disastrous one?
Paul did not say, nor was he asked, which other team or teams he was going back and forth on.
But we just had the 4 other teams that were in the decision, right?
So you don't believe that he made the decision last night at 1 a.m.?
No shot. No shot, Hawk. Nobody makes any good decisions after midnight.
Here's why I think it's phony baloney from LeBron. I thought I was going to retire. Okay, so if you weren't going to the Sixers, would it have been retirement, or you would have just gone, like if the Sixers said, hey, LeBron, we're actually good. We don't want to wait this long. We don't want you. Hey, you're going to retire, right? You wouldn't have gone to Cleveland. You wouldn't have gone to Miami. Come on.
ESPN's Ramona Shelburne said Rich Paul told her that, quote, for a lot of the time, Paul thought it would be Miami for LeBron. But when you won in a place before, it might not be the same. You want to leave those memories as they are. This appeal of something new is attractive.
That's interesting.
You know what that says to me? Go ahead, Solana. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I thought it would be the opposite. I thought something new would deter LeBron James.
At
I
that
thought-
age,
Correct.
because I can speak as an old guy, change is something I do not covet.
I thought something new, something with added pressure because it's new, something that hasn't worked before in Philly. Now the weight of it is on your shoulders to a certain extent. I thought that would deter LeBron from Philly, which is why I never even considered them an option. It wasn't the roster. The roster is great. Nobody denies that. I just thought familiarity. I thought recognizing a situation as one that at one point you called your own is what would draw him to make the decision whether it be Miami or Cleveland. That shocks me to hear that, Hawk.
That's the most believable thing I've heard in this entire stuff. That's something I do
You certainly
believe.
are the arbiter of what's true and not.
I think so. I think I'm a good person that gives you an unbiased opinion and take. But that I actually
that
believe.
I don't believe.
Oh, okay, well that's fine. You could do that. I won't get all annoyed and upset about it and complain about it. But
I just think it's convenient that people choose to believe whatever they feel like believing, even when someone's telling them otherwise.
oh, why? Because people of fame have never lied to people publicly.
Well,
I'm just saying, my default is to believe.
What are we doing
people.
here?
That's why I'm always shocked because, Gelb, the reason why Hawk is going back and forth with you on this specific topic is because I had the exact same rant yesterday about Rich Paul, where I said I'm sick of the clown show when they're the ones instigating the clown show. Like, you guys want to pretend, oh, we don't want the media attention, we don't want anything, but Rich Paul's on every single podcast claiming that he doesn't want the media attention, then don't go on every single podcast. But Hawk, if Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg and Mickey Arison and the Miami Heat believed Giannis Antetokounmpo at his word, they never would have traded for him. So thank God there's
that's
more
not
people
true.
like Zach Gelb and Alejandro Solana who recognize when an
Wow.
athlete is trying to show face
But that's
Wow.
not true.
while
Like,
saying something differently behind the scenes.
The truth of the matter is Giannis did want to stay in Milwaukee. And while his timing there was coming to an end, he wanted to stay. And by the way, he's been adamant since he got here that he has nothing but fond feelings for Milwaukee and would like to retire there one day.
Giannis
So I
saying,
still take Giannis at his word. You guys still conveniently, because for whatever reason you've decided he's a liar. Giannis, one of the most forthcoming and personable athletes we've ever had in the NBA, you guys have decided he's a deceitful liar.
for
I
3 years
haven't.
ago, for 3 years, it's been a dog and pony show with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, the end result has worked wonderfully for you guys. But Giannis Antetokounmpo the last 2-3 years saying he wanted to stay in Miami is like when I come on this show in November and Solana goes, Gelb, how's the weather up there? You love it in New York? It's freezing. It's 95 here. I go, nah, I love being in New York. There's nothing like being in New York. Of course I want to be in Miami when it's not 95 degrees down there and it's 40 degrees up here and snowing.
Yeah, but you could still be honest and say, I would love to be here while knowing I'm not going to end up being able to stay here because it's just not going to be good for my career and it's not going to be good for what I'm trying to do.
That's not what he was doing, Hawk.
That
That's
is
not
what he was doing. He was telling you he'd love to stay in Milwaukee.
Yeah, yes. But he was also saying, I'm not asking for a trade. I'm not the one that doesn't want me to be in Milwaukee. He was trying to make the Bucks brass and the Bucks organization look bad so that he didn't come off as the guy who was requesting a trade when very clearly he was requesting a trade. There's
you
a
think he's
difference between what
deceitful?
you're saying. No, there's a difference between what you're saying and what Giannis ultimately did. Yes, he was very upfront about how much he loves the city of Milwaukee, and that's true. And nobody's denying that. But he time and time again, when asked by the media over the past 2-3 years, said, I'm not asking for a trade. I'm not the one asking for a trade. When we now know behind the scenes, he was the one trying to push himself out of Milwaukee. There's nothing wrong with that. That was our whole point. There's nothing wrong with a player saying, I love this city. I love what it's provided me. I love this fan base, but my time here has come to an end.
But in other words, if you sat down for a sit down with Giannis and you said to him, we know now that you were pushing for a trade from Milwaukee. And he said to you, no, I never was. I wanted to stay in Milwaukee. They traded me and I'm thrilled to be here. You would say to him, you're lying.
No, there's no shot I would ever say that to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You would believe he was lying.
Put someone in that chair with a little more extra stones and you'll get that. You'll get that.
I've got no stones.
Here's another one from Barry Jackson. Rich Paul indicates the 76ers were considered only after acquiring Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
LeBron's close relationship with Tyrese Maxey was also a significant factor.
Two things. I actually see why he went to Philadelphia and why you wouldn't maybe want to go to Miami, because those memories were so fun with Wade and Bosh, where if you don't win a championship, I don't think Heat fans would have done this, but they would have been like, oh, it's a fail. Like, I don't think people would have said it's a failure if he didn't win a championship, but maybe that did cross his mind. But the going to Philly, the one thing that I think you got to keep an eye on here, because it could easily work, but you had Jaylen Brown when he was on the Celtics saying, oh, Joel Embiid flops and he's basically bad for the league. You also had Jaylen Brown sitting courtside like 2 summer leagues ago talking crap about Bronny. I know LeBron has said, and I know you believe everything people say, Hawk, that they're good and there's nothing to worry there. But I wonder when push comes to shove, how big of an issue is. Just like how I wonder when push did come to shove, when everyone's telling me, oh, yeah, LeBron and Pat Riley, they love each other now. How much maybe the way that LeBron thought he was treated out the door said, I'll get back at Pat here in the 11th hour, when they already had a press conference scheduled next week on YouTube. Let me embarrass him once again.
Well, when we do find out all the backdoor dealing that went on with all of this stuff, it's probably going to be pretty revelatory.
Oh, I hope we get a salty Pat Riley. It would be great.
I mean, I do want to know, like, was there genuinely a detente between the two, or was it always kind of tension-filled, but they were going to coexist because they knew it would be good for the organization and for him? Like, there's some real interesting backstories that will come out from all of this.
I think what Pat Riley had happened here is that Pat was cooking dinner, right? His ex-girlfriend hit him up. I want to see you again. And Pat's cooking the dinner, getting ready. He's sitting there. It's 8, 9 o'clock. And then he gets a text, hey, I'm actually not interested. I don't want to get back together. I'm going out with someone else. Now, Pat is pivoting to his side piece, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is better.
Not a
but
bad side
that's
piece.
what happened here. He is sitting there. He was making the meal, getting ready to wine and dine the ex-girlfriend, and then she let him down once again.
There's a guy on the YouTube chat. I've seen him do this several times today. He has said, let's talk Finns, Marlins, Heat Summer League, please. Enough LeBron. Sir, you got to go somewhere else today. If you don't think I'm talking LeBron for 4 hours today, when it's the middle of summer and the Marlins are mired in a 9-game losing streak, I'm begging you to go find a different show. Because you just don't have your finger on the pulse of a sports radio listener who's getting into his car for 10 minutes, wants to hear what the local station, the Heat station, is saying about LeBron going to the Sixers. I'm not going to be able to help you out today. You're not going to get any other talk other than
You don't
LeBron
want to talk
today.
some Devon Achan today? Come on, Devon Achan, baby.
I've got some Trevor Keel's take for that gentleman, Hawk, if you need him. You just let me know, okay?
Tony Romo did get arrested for DUI, and Jimmy just let us know that Patrick Mahomes has been cleared to practice. So there you go. There's some other news other than LeBron.
That same guy just said, oh, he's talking about Mahomes and Romo, but he won't talk about any of the local guys. That Hawkman.
Let's get headlines here for the 4 o'clock hour. Let's see what's in the headlines other than LeBron, or maybe it's all LeBron. Headlines brought to you by Durrell Hyundai. In Miami, we go to the beach for a little solcito. When we want a low price, we save with a Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Durrell Hyundai.
All I had was Romo getting arrested and Mahomes available to practice, but Jimmy doesn't send it to the headlines guy. Hey, what are you doing, Jimmy? What are you doing?
I sent it to the group chat.
I know. I'm just joking, Jimmy.
He's working a bit, Jimmy. He's working a bit.
All right.
I
didn't catch that.
We're doing radio here, Jimmy.
Everybody's on edge today, Jimmy. I don't know if you know what happened, but we got the rug pulled out from under us.
I thought you guys were fine. I thought it was no big deal. There was no anger.
I did that
no
for
emotions.
you, jackass.
I know. I was playing the role of Jimmy there, since everyone's playing a role today. Tried to look confused.
Jimmy, you had the right take on this entire thing. What was your take on this entire thing?
I'll believe it when I see it.
I almost cursed. You friggin' nailed it.
I did.
You mother trucker.
You nailed it, Jimmy.
So every time I show up to the station, this is something that's fun behind the scenes, Gelb. Every time I show up to the station, Jimmy's sitting at his computer. I walk into the to the pit, And Jimmy always has one take he's been workshopping on whatever the current daily news story is.
And he can't wait to get it out.
He can't. And this is his one take he's been workshopping all morning, thinking about to deliver to me before he says hello, before he says anything. One take. What did you tell me today, Jimmy? Right when I walked into the studio, he looked right at me, and you said,
We don't need LeBron.
That's it.
Let me tell you.
So where did you workshop that? Where? At home? Did you workshop it? Hey, did you go for your glizzy today at Costco?
I did not today.
You always go on Fridays. What happened?
I know. I didn't go today.
What'd you have for lunch? You lost your appetite because LeBron went to Philly?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you have for lunch?
I had grilled cheese and sausage patties.
Oh, she's gotta have some diarrhea.
It's an interesting lunch. Sausage patties with a grilled cheese.
A brunch.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that clears it up.
You know what I take away from this conversation, Hawk? We already know Tobin's a preeminent insider for the Miami Heat on this radio station. I think now Jimmy's the best person in that control room. He's the most intelligent one there.
Tell you what, a couple of good takes. I'll believe it when I see it. He was completely right on that because none of us would have believed this until we saw it. And what was the take again today? I already forgot.
So does Jimmy.
What was it?
I believe when I see it. Or
No. Today's take on Solana.
You didn't need LeBron.
Oh, we didn't need LeBron.
Yeah, all right. You delivered it better the first time. Yeah, he's right on both takes.
Jimmy knows, man.
I do like the Heat future to win the finals. Plus 2250. Are you kidding me?
They turn it into Crowder with those gambling picks. Oof.
The Heat with Giannis and Bam. And don't sleep. I know you're going to poo-poo it. Don't sleep on Andrew Wiggins as a shooter when he's the third guy. I'm telling you, Gelb, you're laughing. You're smiling.
I'm
if they
laughing
bring
for
in
one
Klay
reason.
Thompson, you're going to see a Klay Thompson that you saw 10 years ago. He's going to have nothing to do but sit there and knock down threes.
He's not sleeping with Megan Thee Stallion anymore. I don't think he has it in the knees anymore, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
He's weak in the knees now.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, and you forgot the immortal Pella Larson. You forgot the best person there. I'm trying to help you guys out.
Davion
I'm trying to hype you
Mitchell.
up.
I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr., Bobby Portis. This team is not devoid of talent.
Hawk, no joke. The idea that the Heat aren't a good roster. I know I'm a Heat homer. I get it, but you've got to be out of your mind. And I'm not suggesting you, Gelb. I'm just saying in general, the way people are poo-pooing this roster around the league. Are they going to win the title? I don't know. I do like them at plus 2250, though. I'll be honest. Are they going to win the title? I don't know, but they're a good roster.
The Heat to win the East. To win the East. And I don't know if you remember seeing Giannis go through our Miami Heat to win the East.
I was Mr. Milwaukee back then. Come on.
Didn't you get really good ratings in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
I was a rating success.
Yeah.
The president of the Bucks, I was like the biggest Giannis fan.
I remember that.
They brought me out there. They put my name on the steak knife and the menu at our Carnivore Steakhouse.
To win the East, the Heat are behind the Pistons.
Crazy.
So here's
Which
what
makes
I think
no
you guys,
sense because Jalen Duren's not even going to be there. He's trying to force.
I like
his way out
Cade
of the
Cunningham
sport.
as much as the next guy. You're telling me the Pistons, Cade Cunningham, is Duncan Robinson still on the Pistons?
Yep.
And Dunky are better odds to win the East than the Heat?
They were the number 1 seed last year. But here's the thing. No one's saying the Heat are bad. Everyone acknowledges the Heat are good. They're just not saying they're great.
But
And
I think they're great.
But that gets back to my point. If they got LeBron, today everyone's saying they're great.
No doubt.
Now they're just good. I think the two biggest things, people look at the depth of this roster, and then also they wonder how Bam and Giannis will play together. Those are the two big national talking points that I hear
Which is fair.
from people not in Miami about their concerns or qualms with the Miami Heat this year.
For sure. But we saw this team without Giannis, and now you add Giannis onto the Gumpo.
If he's healthy.
If he's healthy, yeah. And maybe that's what it is. People are just assuming that Giannis is getting older and his body's going to keep failing him. And I choose to believe the complete opposite, which is this dude has never been more motivated since winning a title in Milwaukee.
He's young too. People forget. Like this guy's young, man.
31, man.
Can I give Jimmy a take to workshop for maybe Monday or Tuesday?
Sure, go ahead.
Jimmy, this is what you should do. You should say that you're hearing that Tobin has really developed a relationship with Giannis, and he's coaching Giannis on how to deal with those iguanas. And then when LeBron comes to Miami, Giannis is going to have 2 iguanas and throw them right at him and knock him out. That's what you should workshop.
Can you remember that, Jimmy?
Write it down,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
I probably won't remember that, but
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
I don't understand why you didn't get the glizzy at Costco on Fridays. You love that.
Maybe I'll get it after.
Oh, good
sure.
point.
They put anything in those glizzies?
I just
No.
put ketchup.
No mustard?
Jimmy's
No
been
mustard. I
known.
hate mustard.
Jimmy's been known to raw dog a hot dog from Costco
Oh.
every now and then. Crazy, man. Diabolical stuff.
Raw
Diabolical.
dogging's big in that family, I hear.
They have tenders now at the food court.
I saw that. So
Yeah.
Costco, I don't have a Costco card. They never had chicken tenders before?
They never had.
did. But what's
Wow.
interesting is the sauce. The sauce that they're serving it with, nobody can figure out what the sauce is. And not that it's bad, but they just can't exactly figure out like what combination.
What are they
of
calling it? Just
sauces.
like Costco sauce?
Yeah, the tender sauce.
I am very disappointed in you, Mark Hockman.
Why is that?
You are Mr. I love Big Boom AJ. We bring the boom with all these Costco guys, and you don't have a Costco card membership?
I know.
You live in a throne of lies. That's why I don't believe people.
You're missing out, Hawk.
AJ's gonna see you
Sorry,
in Boca tomorrow.
sorry, I
after
don't
the
need
fifth avocado
36 rolls
toast.
of toilet paper at once.
I get my Costco delivered to me. It's great. It's wonderful.
Costco has delivery?
I use it through Instacart. And I put my
Instacart.
Costco membership in. They bring it right to the apartment. Don't even have to go there. Except I do like going to Costco, but they're just in the city. It's it's too far away. They don't like really have one in the heart of the city. But I love going to Costco because you try all the free samplers. I know why Jimmy likes to go there.
Love Costco.
Going back to Tony Romo, and I don't like to like kick on somebody when they're down. Like,
But-
hey man, whatever. No, because Hawk, you've never, and I don't know, I don't know if this is an on-air thing, but you've never been arrested, right?
No.
Yeah. Gelb, have you ever been arrested?
No.
Okay. Jimmy?
Would you have been
Never.
shocked if I said, oh, yeah, I have?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, everybody has a little crazy past that maybe that we don't know about. Like, everybody's got some skeletons in their
Arrested or
closet.
charged?
Right.
Like if you tell me in the 80s, like Hawk was on the Miami campus and had like a little dime bag of marijuana on him, nah, I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I may have been seen inside Merry-Go-Round at Dadeland Mall every now and then in 1987, where a lot of shenanigans were going down.
No, I have not been arrested.
You sure about that, Jimmy?
I'm positive.
Okay.
I've never been arrested either. If I was arrested, even if it was how do you say this, like a cordial process where like, yeah, I did something stupid and nobody was harmed in the process, like very just, it is what it is, I'm being taken in. Would you smile for your mugshot? Because here's Tony Romo's mugshot.
Oh, he was
And-
tanked. Oh my God. There's drunk and then there's that.
He's smiling. And I always get a kick out of that when somebody who is famous, celebrity, they know this mugshot is going to be everywhere. He was worried about how he would look in this picture. He's smiling.
It's for me, it's a natural reaction. If someone's going to take your picture and they're actually counting you down, 3, 2, 1, you're going to smile. I don't care where the picture's taking place. Like,
think
it's
they
just,
say
that's muscle
cheese?
memory.
You think
He
they say
l-
cheese in the tank?
Yes,
he literally
that's
looks
muscle
like
memory.
he literally looks like he's about to say, "Wait a second, Jim. Wait a second." That's what he like. I'm about to say that MF was so loud, Jim. Solano, you're not going to the bathroom still. Oh my God, he looks terrible.
Yeah.
It looks good to me. Looks happy.
Yeah, no, it looks fine.
Does he get suspended from CBS after this, you think?
I don't know. You know how these things always play out. The charges end up getting dropped, and then what are you suspending him for?
Well, it's their way maybe to get out in the Tony Romo business because he's overpaid as an analyst now.
He's overpaid, but I'm not out on him the way other people are. I still think he adds something to a game.
I was never in, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I think he was more entertaining. I still find him to be entertaining. I think Tom Brady has improved from year 1 to year 2 in a dramatic fashion.
No, yeah, Brady was good last year.
Oh, Jim.
JJ Watt and I had an ego like, oh, maybe we'll be the A team after today. That's a great broadcast. You see what JJ Watt did, by the way, last week?
So cool.
It's a block up the street from me, that bar. O'Hara's. I go.
Oh, is that where it took place?
Yeah.
That was
What'd he do?
Cool.
I didn't see it. What'd he do?
So I was actually out for brunch, not that far away. Some fan, I guess, saw JJ Watt, who was in New York for the World Cup, and there's Fanatics Fest, all this stuff going on. And the fan goes, I saw one of my favorite players of all time, but I didn't have the courage to go up to him because I didn't want to annoy him when he's out with his family.
He tweeted this, and he tagged JJ Watt on it.
And JJ Watt responds like, where are you now? And it was pouring in the city that day. And the fan tweets him back and goes, I'm at this bar in Financial District, which is O'Hara's, and they do great things for the NYPD and the FDNY right next to the where the World Trade Center and the Twin Towers were. And JJ Watt goes, get me a Guinness. I'll be there in like 20 minutes. Shows up, hung out with the guy for an hour and a half.
Oh, that's cool, man.
It's really cool.
I have a good JJ Watt story that I think you guys will appreciate.
All right.
Super Bowl. In New Orleans here, Beyonce's doing the halftime show. JJ Watt is standing there as Beyonce walks through Radio Row to do an interview with Rich Eisen and Coach Prime Deion Sanders on the NFL Network. The whole room stops. Like Beyonce walks in, the entire room stops, stands up. It's like when you're a kid, you're about to do the Pledge of Allegiance, but they were doing the Pledge of Allegiance to Beyonce. I'm looking to the left of me, and it's JJ Watt. And to paint the picture here, Rich Eisen, Deion Sanders, and Beyonce, we only see their backsides. They're facing out that way. JJ Watt looks to me and my father and goes, boys, we got the best view in the house. Because we got a great side of Beyonce. It was awesome.
Funny. That's funny. Yeah, I like him a lot. He's a funny dude.
He's a good dude. He could be a politician. I think that's a guy that could run for office, JJ Watt.
Because everybody likes him. He appeals to everybody.
Well, did you see that's the Brady spin? Florio was on with Joe Rose today this morning. I was listening to it right here on 104.3 FM WQAM. And Florio was speculating that he thinks Brady is trying to appease to a different audience. That's why he's doing the WWE stuff.
Interesting.
And it's to go make a play to run for president of the United States.
Oh, get out of here.
Could you imagine that at the debate circle? Hey, Tom, did you deflate those footballs? Like what happened there? I don't know if we could trust the president who had deflated footballs.
Did Florio really say that?
He's saying that's like been speculation. And I guess Joe heard him say it, or Joe knew about it because Joe even brought it up to Mike Florio. And I guess there was some guy in, I forget what other like non-fungible tokens or whatever it was, FTA. I'm not like well-versed in that got arrested, that Brady was close with once, that was trying to push Brady to run for office like years ago.
Well, I'd like to take this opportunity right now then, before any of this maybe even happens. If Tom Brady is elected president of these United States, I am moving.
All right, Rosie O'Donnell.
All right, anything else in the headlines?
Just your weather. Marlins do play tonight, by the way. I just saw an update from several Marlins reporters that Max Meyer still going to be out for the next couple of weeks. Apparently, neck doing a little bit better, but won't be throwing for the next couple of weeks. Marlins do open up against the Padres tonight, 7:10 p.m. That's the first of 3 games here against San Diego. And don't forget, Inter Miami plays Montreal tomorrow.
Oui.
Tomorrow afternoon. Your weather in South Florida right now, still 90 degrees. Tonight, the lows are going to drop into the low 80s. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Protect your home before the next storm. Get your free roof and window estimate. Call 954-968-8155.
All right, we will have our continuing coverage of LeBron headed to the city of brotherly love. Do not go anywhere as we approach 5 o'clock on this Friday.
Man, forget about LeBron for a second, because $30 million is better. And that's what you can get right now. $30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entry starting at $1,000, all with no rake. Circa Million, that's the first one. 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Then you've got the Circa Survivor. You pick one winner each week. Last one standing is the winner. And then the final one here, it's the Big Daddy. It's the Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. You enter in Nevada, but you can play from anywhere. That's $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for all of the details.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Have you enjoyed today's show from whatever you've heard?
No.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios. Edmore Sawgrass Buick GMC's entire inventory is on sale and all backed by Morse. Click EdmoreSawgrassBuickGMC.com to start shopping. GMC, we are professional grade.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for the renewal. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risks. That's why I'm introducing Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employees benefits, all with your year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Canes fans, the Hurricanes women's and men's basketball programs are already building on the success of last season, and 2026 is shaping up to be a season you don't want to miss. Experience all the big moments and close finishes, the halftime shows, and in-game promotions at the Watsco Center. Season tickets are the best way you experience all the action and excitement of Hurricanes basketball. Lock in your season tickets today at MiamiHurricanes.com/basketball. That's MiamiHurricanes.com/basketball.
Hey, sis, do you remember if the recipe says 2 or 3 cups of water?
Let me video call Abuela.
How are you, mija?
Wait, Abue, in the living room, I'll hear you better.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. Over here, Carlitos is playing. I'd better go to the backyard.
Okay.
Okay, almost there. And here, Daddy's getting excited watching the final. Better to the basement.
I'm still here.
Okay, I can hear you perfectly now.
What's going on?
Abue, was it 2 or 3 cups of water for the empanadas?
I don't know. Search on the internet.
Wait, what?
Get internet in more corners of your house with home internet from AT&T. AT&T, connecting changes everything. Extended Wi-Fi coverage, service required, limited availability. Visit att.com/internet to learn more.
In Miami, we don't drink coffee. We drink cafecito. Our pastries, we call them pastelitos. And when we want a low price, we know. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Volkswagen. Take advantage of your Pricito and save all month long on all of your favorite new 26 Volkswagen models like a Tiguan, Jetta, Taos, Atlas, and more. Don't miss your chance to save on a new vehicle today. With easy financing and fast service, you'll receive the best value for your money because you always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Volkswagen. Visit us at Doral Volkswagen or start shopping for your Pricito now at DoralVolkswagen.com. All financing on approved credit. Present any Miami Volkswagen dealer's unexpired new vehicle advertisement for verification. Other Lithia dealerships do not qualify. The competing offer must be available for immediate purchase at the advertised price. The competitor's vehicle must be identically equipped as our in-stock vehicle.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience, and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Spain, world champions once again. This is a golden generation announcing itself on the sport's biggest stage. Spain's next wave has already delivered a title, and there may be more to come. World champions, Spain reigns over the globe once again.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Traffic on WQAM is sponsored by Lexus of Kendall and Lexus of West Kendall. Your home for the best price on luxury. Now featuring the all-new Lexus TX 3-row SUV. In stock and on sale now. Call 305-KENDALL today.
Traffic in Dade, westbound at the Dolphin from the Palmetto to 107th Ave. And police activity eastbound Airport Expressway at 27th Ave that's going to close off the right lane. Slowing down in Broward County, southbound 95 right by Hillsborough Boulevard that's going to go back to Southwest 10th. And a crash northbound 95 right by Commercial taking out the right lane. I'm Gia, and that's traffic on FM 104.3 WQAM. And you can also listen to WQAM on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This report is brought to you by
Our continuing coverage of LeBron to the Sixers. What do you have, Gelby? Gelby tells us that he's got an interesting quote from a former LeBron teammate.
Yeah, so Danny Green was on the Fan in Cleveland, and he said he was surprised by this decision. He's surprised by the money, and he's trying to figure out what this does for the legacy of LeBron James, because that was the most stunning part to him. So Danny Green basically saying that LeBron, who he played with in Cleveland and then also won a championship together in LA, he's just very surprised by this all around with the decision to end up going to the Sixers today.
Well, I will ask you this. I was going to ask Solana as well. What do you believe ends up as the result? Season 1, because we don't know if there will be a season 2, even though there's a 2-year deal. This season, LeBron with the Sixers ends up with what?
Conference finals appearance.
You're not willing to say a championship?
No.
West is too tough?
I think the East is like, they could go up against the Knicks and lose. They could go up against the Heat and lose. They could go up against, a bunch of other teams and lose. Like, it's not crazy, but I do feel like in Philly, with how much that monkey has been on their back of they can't get out of the second round, and they haven't got out of the second round since AI got them to the NBA Finals. And obviously, to get there, you have to get to the conference finals. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're definitely going to the NBA Finals. They're definitely going to win a championship. Like, do they have the team to do so? Absolutely. But I'm going to say conference finals, because you also have LeBron older. LeBron has dealt with injuries in Los Angeles. And Joel Embiid, that guy, he can never be healthy.
Solana, LeBron season 1 in Philly ends with
first round exit.
Oof. There's some interesting matchups here, by the way. Like, you could get the Heat up against the Sixers in the postseason. You could get
who
the
would you
Celtics.
start the season with, by the way? I saw people bandying this about on social media. Would you start the season, if you're Adam Silver, Sixers, Knicks, Heat, Knicks? How would you start the season?
Sixers, 76ers in Boston. Jaylen Brown's return with LeBron James in Boston.
You have to open the season with the champs. Like, you could do a doubleheader, but they usually
Why?
do one East Coast game, one West Coast game. They always do that.
Well,
Why?
especially with the Knicks. It's obviously they're going to open the season, but would you have them facing LeBron and the Sixers?
Yeah, I would have no issue with that. I think that'd be fun. You get LeBron, who has been the most important player in the league in the last 20 years with the largest media market. Yeah, easily.
I don't know. Doesn't have much juice to me, to be quite honest with the Knicks.
And if LeBron went to the Heat, we know, let's have the Heat go up against the Knicks. Let's do that.
But why can't the Knicks play the Cleveland Cavaliers in a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals to open up the season? Little rematch of the East. Nobody will care about that game the same way nobody cared about that series. And you allow the 76ers with LeBron James and Jaylen Brown to go play the game everybody really cares about to open up the season, which is in Boston. JB's return to Boston after being traded away. I mean, Hawk, that's what the NBA fan wants to see. To be honest, the Knicks are somewhat of an afterthought at this point, if you really think about it.
Now, just to make this clear to the person in the YouTube chat, it's like, we don't want to hear from a Knicks fan today. Well, it's Solana who's bringing up the Knicks. It's not me. I'm not trying to make this a Knicks conversation. I'm trying to have an intelligent, thought-provoking conversation on this award-winning show that's always so serious and would never do any shenanigans like this on the day where LeBron says, Pat Riley, screw you, I'm going to Philadelphia to go grab a cheesesteak. I would never do something like that. But let's be real, folks. The NBA season doesn't really start until Christmas Day anyway. So let's have Jaylen Brown go back to Boston on Christmas Day. Let's not
That's
use it
the
the first
Christmas
game
Day
of the
game.
season.
That really is. That's the Christmas Day game for sure.
I'm going with, like you, with Sharpie. I didn't even realize it.
Now, if you're a Heat fan and you can afford tickets for one game, and obviously we don't know who's going to play, and it's a crapshoot nowadays, which opponent are you buying tickets for as a Heat fan? Is it the Sixers? Is it the defending champion Knicks? Is it Wemby? Is Wemby still the biggest draw in the league? Who are you buying tickets for?
Gelb, I'll take this one. There's only one game. If I'm a Heat fan that I need to be at next season, and it's the Miami Heat hosting the Milwaukee Bucks, Tyler Hero's first game back in Miami.
With the Bam punch.
Because Bam Adebayo punched this dude in the face, allegedly. And I think the vibe when Tyler was traded, for the most part, was, hey, did what we had to do. But I thought Tyler Hero would get a standing ovation by Heat fans when he came back to this building. After the social media nonsense, after the clown nonsense with Tyler taking shots at Bam Adebayo, and then knowing that Bam stepped to him, the energy in that building is going to be nuts. And I expect Tyler Hero to get a tribute video by the Heat and to get booed the entire time that tribute video is being played, and booed every time he touches the ball because he went after the captain.
I agree that they'll do a tribute video, but after Bam punched Tyler Hero over the comments that Tyler made on social media, you almost can't do the video. Like, that's your old news. Like, get him out. You cannot do a video after a punch was thrown.
It's such a pull that the Heat are going to have, because you can't do videos for everyone from Gabe Vincent on down and then not do one for Tyler Hero. Like, you can't not do it, but there is that elephant in the room of what just happened.
So it was interesting. This past year, Chris Kreider and Jacob Trouba came back to Madison Square Garden. I was in a luxury box with the Trouba family, and they had a messy divorce from the Rangers. and you knew Kreider was getting a tribute video. But I turned to my buddy Max, who got me into the suite and is friends with the Trouba family, and I go, it's going to be awkward if they don't give him a tribute video. They ultimately did, but the Kreider one, right, Ranger Legend, was like 2 minutes. The Trouba one, who's a former captain, was about 25 seconds. You could tell that the Rangers didn't really want to do the video. It was
if
awkward.
you could go to one Knicks game, Gelby, next season, which
Wemby.
one would it be?
Wemby.
That's still the draw.
Oh, no. Well, first off, I would love to see Wemby play live in person. Like, I've just watched him on TV. But number two, those Knicks fans, and they're crazy Knicks fans. They can't. My girlfriend lives a block and a half from where the Spurs stayed at the hotel. You had people, animals, and I like the Knicks, but I would never go outside a hotel and throw an egg at Victor Wembanyama. That's crazy. And also, he was choking the captain, too, because he's a little bit dirty, that Frenchman. That's going to be some scene. It's going to be wild. I would just like to go there, have a drink, and just observe. Like, wear a neutral color and just observe everything.
Who gets the most national television next season?
Philly.
I still
over
think
the Knicks, because remember, the Knicks still are the number one media market, so you're going to have more eyeballs built in. You think Philly over Wemby and San Antonio, like Philly because LeBron?
You know what, Solana, I'm going to say something I usually don't say. He's probably right. The commissioner was not releasing the schedule yet because they felt like they were being held hostage by LeBron James. You're waiting to see where LeBron goes.
Gelb, I swear, I take every opportunity I can to make fun of the Knicks. This is not an indictment on the Knicks. This is the impact, the orbit that LeBron James carries. This is new. LeBron at the Lakers, we saw it for 8 years. LeBron in Cleveland, we saw it for several years. This is new. This is a new favorite in the East. This is a new favorite in the NBA, and it's led by LeBron James, who's the face of the league. They're going to be the most watched team in the NBA this season with the most nationally televised games in the NBA this season. For sure. I'm sure the Knicks and the Spurs will be a close second, but come on, everybody wants to see how this is going to work.
But how about Jaylen Brown, right? He wanted to be a number one on a team. Now you got Maxey, you got Edgecombe, you got LeBron. Like, don't get me wrong. If Jaylen Brown wins a championship, you go to Boston and say, go stick it up your keister, right? All I do is win championships. You traded me for old man Paul George, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, so he could still win. But that Jaylen Brown, it's kind of blown up in his face, even though there is a chance he wins a championship this year.
I can tell you, I do believe the Heat will be back on Christmas Day this year.
Oh, for sure. With Giannis, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I could see that being a Heat Knicks Christmas Day Hawk. Like I could see that.
That'd be a great matchup. Great matchup. All right, we got to take a break. 5 o'clock hour is coming up on this very, very special Friday. LeBron James, the king, has made his choice. He's going to Philadelphia. 5 o'clock hour on this Friday is next.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Ain't no way Solana got a degree.
It is National Tequila Day. Only makes sense. We play a little tequila here, start out the 5 o'clock hour on this very consequential Friday. So as we head into the weekend, we learned earlier today, LeBron James taking his talents to Philadelphia. There it is. Gelby's got some tequila right with him there.
You know who gave me this tequila? Any guess?
No idea.
How would I have a guess on who gave you the tequila?
Emmitt Smith.
How would I have guessed that? Looks like there's a horseshoe on there. I would have guessed Peyton Manning before Emmitt Smith.
He's my dear friend, Emmitt Smith. Yeah, he gave me this tequila.
I would ask you this, even though LeBron goes to Philly, if you had to give an off-season grade to the Miami Heat, it would be what, Gelb?
Hey, they got Giannis.
And Solana?
A- right now, because I still want to see what the other moves are, whether it's going to be DeMar DeRozan, whether it's going to be Klay Thompson, whether it's going to be Bradley Beal, whoever it is. There's still a couple open roster spots. I want to see how they fill those out, but it's an A- right now for the Miami Heat. They got their whale. They got their superstar. All is good.
If they had gotten LeBron, Gelb, would your grade change?
Yeah, if it was an A, it would have been an A+. And I'm still annoyed, by the way, from this tweet that we read earlier. Rich Paul, for a lot of time, thought LeBron was going to sign with the Heat per Ramona Shelburne. Geez. Like, I understand the Jaylen Brown trade happened, but how is that a way to treat your ex? I think that's a bad job. Rich Paul all along, oh, he's going to Miami Heat. Then it's Philadelphia. That still doesn't sit right with me. I think he's playing games with Pat Riley. LeBron's still mad at Pat.
You think that Rich Paul is lying there?
No, I think he's telling the truth. Like, I think
you think he thought as well that LeBron was going to end up in Miami. You don't think LeBron ever really gave consideration to returning?
I think they were trying to make it as if LeBron and Pat Riley, the relationship was restored, the key's under the mat, everything's good, it's all lovey-dovey. But when push comes to shove after misleading the Heat, when it was time to go sign with the Heat, I'm going to go to Philadelphia. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, at the end of the day, LeBron wasn't really ready to make out and kiss up with Pat Riley. It was, I'll say all the right things and we'll leak all the right things, but I didn't actually want to go back there because of Pat.
I will tell you one thing that I hadn't thought of. I think it was Barry Jackson, one of the tweets that we read, that I hadn't thought of, but this does make some sense to me. And I think it was Rich Paul saying it on his podcast with Max Kellerman, that they won 2 championships. They went to 4 straight here in Miami. So maybe, and I had said the riskiest path is going to Philly, but maybe the riskiest path was going to Miami and trying to replicate something that was so magical that the odds are infinitesimal that you could ever replicate even a fraction of what that felt like. And maybe it would have diminished the 4 years he had spent here.
I also wonder this. How would D Wade have felt if LeBron came back? Because Wade's the most important player in the history of the Heat's organization. He has 3 championships, won before LeBron, won 2 with LeBron. If LeBron comes back when the Heat fan is jonesing for another championship and looking to get that good Pat Riley send-off, and LeBron is the one to get a championship and have the 3rd one, I just wonder how D Wade would have felt about it.
Definitely potentially changes the course of history. It's like Back to the Future with the picture.
You know who, by the way, got LeBron to Philly right on July 2nd? Any guesses? Someone near and dear to your heart, Mark Hochman.
July 2nd. Chris Sheridan.
No, it's not Chris Sheridan. Stu Gatz.
Stu Gatz got it right?
Fox Sports Radio just retweeted a tweet that he had from July 2nd. Stu Gatz, quote, "If you're LeBron James, Jaylen Brown makes Philly more attractive. If you want to win a championship and will play for the league minimum, being the 5th guy on the Sixers, that's got to be attractive."
Yeah, but in fairness, Stu Gatz said something about every team that was retweetable to take credit for it at the end.
I don't know. Stu Gatz, it seems like he didn't want LeBron in Miami. I got to put him on fraud alert.
Well, he's a Knicks fan. Let's get headlines here for the 5 o'clock hour with Solana. Brought to you by Doral Hyundai in Miami. We go to the beach for a little solcito, and when we want a low price, you save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Hyundai.
It is a 2-year deal, by the way, with a player option. So first year is guaranteed. Second year is not. That allows LeBron flexibility. He likely would have done that no matter where he had gone. It's how he signed his last 2 contracts in LA as well. Are you guys surprised that LeBron is taking what appears to be less to play in Philadelphia, around $4 million per year, than maybe he could have gotten elsewhere, whether it be Cleveland, whether it be, we believe, Miami?
I'm not, because he said that it wasn't about money, and I believe people at their word.
And I did not believe LeBron at his word. And I will admit, unlike Solana, I will take accountability. Hand up, I was wrong on that. I'm shocked LeBron James is playing for $3 to $4 million this year. Not only stunned, shocked.
I wonder, again, it's great in theory, and he's worth $1 billion plus, so it doesn't really matter. But I do wonder, in theory, if he's balling out and Joel Embiid is missing game after game after game, and let's say Tyrese Maxey isn't playing as well as he should be, or Jaylen Brown, I wonder if resentments start to build because, hey, I'm doing this for next to nothing. You guys are making all this money, and I'm the guy out here busting my ass. I just wonder if that has the potential to build resentments.
I do think ego is going to be a fascinating thing. And if you remember when LeBron was here in Miami, his first go around, he was trying to get Pat Riley to be the coach again. There were some issues with Eric Spoelstra. They ended up getting to the NBA Finals. They lost to the Mavericks. LeBron then basically told everyone, hey, you have to go back to living your miserable lives. Look how great my life is. Everyone's rooting against me. I do wonder, though, with the personal feelings of Jaylen Brown saying what he said about Bronny, Jaylen Brown saying what he said about Joel Embiid, that if there is some friction, how easy is it to get everybody on the same page?
To your point, the potential of this going up in flames is a lot higher in Philly than it would have been in Cleveland, than it would have been in Miami, than it would have been in those 2 locations than in Philly, right? The Joel Embiid situation, he's never available. The Jaylen Brown situation, like you just explained, and just the idea that Jaylen Brown is somebody who is a bit of a wild card when it comes to his emotions and his feelings. And consider this. Sam Quinn from CBSSports.com. 37 players in the NBA last season touched the ball at least 68.4 times per game. 5 of them now play for the 76ers. Tyrese Maxey, BJ Edgecombe, LeBron James, Joel Embiid, and Jaylen Brown.
Stat.
And you know what Adam Silver's doing?
5 players who need the ball, or at the very least are accustomed to having the ball in their hands.
And I hear that Adam Silver, to curtail to the Philadelphia 76ers, is going to implement 2 basketballs on the court at the same time for this upcoming
it is going to be fascinating, right? That stat is laugh out loud funny.
So what's plan B for the Heat Hawk now? Plan A is done. Plan A was Giannis. Plan A-ish was LeBron. Plan B, Klay Thompson, Bradley Beal, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook.
No. For my money, I'm a huge DeMar DeRozan fan, right? you know I have been.
Yeah.
Crowder and I famously caped up for DeMar DeRozan over who? I can't even remember who. Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler during the 2023 playoffs, which we all remember how that worked out.
I think we may have been right. Regardless, I think my choice would be Klay Thompson. I know what Riley said, but I think that was more along the lines of trying to get LeBron, saying the most important piece right now is a playmaker. I really want to see Klay Thompson spotting up behind the arc, game after game after game, knocking them down. And so I think he does that better than DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, great creator, but I think if I had my choice, it would be Klay.
Little Ray Allen type is what you're envisioning there?
Yep, exactly.
The interesting thing with Klay is that it would have to come as a buyout, and are the Mavericks inclined to pay most of Klay's contract right now in order for him to fit under the cap for the Miami Heat. I don't know, right? Like there's stuff that needs to be worked out there for Klay Thompson to become available. He's under contract with the Mavericks right now. But I'm with you, Hawk. Klay Thompson me. If we can get him, Klay Thompson me.
I think Klay wants to go to Miami more than Hawk wants him in Miami. That dude's single running around Miami. He'll have a lot of fun.
I mean, the time of his life.
He'll be like,
And
Megan,
then
who?
if we can't get Klay, go back and get Duncan from Detroit.
Sign me up. All right, a couple
And
other
if you can't
headlines.
get Duncan, activate Crotty. Crotty's still got good. He's still got some hops.
Yeah.
You know, I hear Tim Hardaway Sr. is going to ask for his number back. He's going to come and spot up from 3 this year with the Heat. That line bum.
So we're all in agreement now. You guys can stop pretending like I'm crazy. Heat fans can stop calling me an idiot. We're all in agreement. Number 6 goes up in the rafters for Mario Chalmers now.
If 6 goes up in the rafters, it will be for Mario.
Okay, good. Heat legend, 2-time NBA champion, never turned his back on this organization, never did Pat Riley wrong. It's about time we start paying our respects to the true great number 6 in Heat history.
Next time you're at a Heat press conference, though, Solana, or maybe you won't ask this, but let me know when next time Pat Riley speaks. I want to go and ask him, like, you don't really like LeBron. Like, come on, Pat. that was all, like, BS that you guys are trying to sell to us.
A couple other local notes that are not LeBron related. The Miami Marlins are going to play tonight. They got the San Diego Padres in town. 7:10 p.m. is your first pitch. Jimmy let me know that the roof at LD Park will be closed tonight, which makes sense because it is 90 degrees in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And Inter Miami does play tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. kickoff in Montreal. Luis Suarez won MLS Match Week Player with his brace on Wednesday for the Herons.
All right.
Hey, and the Heat still got Giannis Antetokounmpo, bro. So everybody settle down out there.
I'm doing great on this Friday. I got to tell you, I'm doing great. We're going to talk with Brendan Tobin in the next segment. I think he's a good representative of Heat Nation, but I'm doing great. Like if you said to me, hey, how do you think you'll end up feeling at 5:14 in the afternoon if you hear LeBron's not coming to the Heat? I don't know if I would have told you that I would be feeling this great because I don't know. I didn't think it would bother me if LeBron left Miami the first time and then he left and he went to Cleveland. I didn't realize how angry I was going to be, probably because I didn't think he was really going to go anywhere. And then I was really angry. I don't think that I would have guessed that I would have felt this great on this day because I was pretty certain that he was coming here.
Yep.
And now
He's
he's not.
been doing a whole lot better, though, if he was going to Miami.
But I realized it really, I hadn't put that much emotion into it. I feel great.
I just can't believe for the last 3 hours I've looked at you guys and you've lied to me this entire show.
I feel great. I do. I feel great. I'm more inclined to buy Heat season tickets today than I was yesterday.
2 hours ago, you said you were looking for Heat season tickets for LeBron. You're making me drink, Hockman, all right? Come on.
Hawk, if you're serious on that, the Solana family has 41 tickets they'd like to send your way next year. Your weather in South Florida right now, it is 90 degrees, as I mentioned. Tonight, the lows will be in the low 80s. This weather report is brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Get your free roof and window estimate right now. Call 954-968-8155.
We will talk a little LeBron and Heat with Brendan Tobin from our midday show in the next segment. Cheetah Pompano, that's a great spot to watch a game or a fight. They got VIP areas, 4 stages of entertainment, and the most beautiful ladies in South Florida. You know, Cheetah Pompano, they've got an amazing complimentary gourmet lunch till 3 p.m. every day. Happy hour specials till 6. And what do I always say? Every day is a great day at Cheetah Pompano Beach, and certainly on a weekend, it's even more true. And you want to make sure you visit Cheetah Palm Beach as well. You can get all the details on their website, which is cheetahsofl.com.
You're listening to the Hawk, Crowder, and Solana Show.
I want Jimmy to bathe me.
WQAM.
All right, chat. Have a good weekend, everybody. Jimmy, you want to say anything to the chat?
Have a great weekend, chat.
All right. I'm sure you guys didn't hear that. Gelb, you want to say anything to the chat? You want to apologize for
what am I
being a
apologizing
Knicks fan?
for?
For being a Knicks fan? Want to say anything?
No. Absolutely not. I'm not apologizing to people. Oh, we want a Gelb free show. Big limp getting out of this chair after sitting for 5 hours I just had. Thought my legs were going down there.
You good?
Yeah, all good. I've just been sitting in this chair for 6 hours.
Yeah. All right, chat. Everybody have a good weekend. Talk to you el lunes.